Yeah, I broke in.
Okay. I am also, just in case, the stream does not automatically upload to YouTube, which it should. I'm pretty sure I already have that set up. I'm not 100%. I'm also recording it just in case now. I just started recording just now, so I don't have all the stuff from the beginning in there. Thankfully. Uh, all right. Hello. How is everyone doing today?
Warm. It is hot as
It is
hell in my
90 degrees in California at the moment.
but I'm gonna say
64 for me, thank you.
must be nice.
Let me actually.
We
update
had a
my weather.
thunderstorm
Oh,
yesterday.
it was 88. That's a lie. It is
Jesus.
not 88. It is 90
What is the
something.
real say? The real feels more
Oh.
right than actually.
I can only find that article actually. Feels like 88. It feels like 90. It feels like it's still 90.
Maddie's on the stream.
Yeah, you didn't
Hey,
see
yo.
that? I see Maddie. Hello,
I have
Maddie.
the stream on my phone.
Ah.
Anyways, it was 93, 94 earlier.
Yeah, when we
Anyways.
were outside for a minute.
Anyways, I'm literally dying.
Aw,
So that's fine.
you poor dear.
We're dying.
All right.
I need to send you images of these plushies.
Please do.
Just send them into
They're going into the related chat.
and then also don't forget to the things you drew.
Oh right, I'll do that later because I still have to like go through and crop them all.
That's fair.
Hold on.
Well, you don't want my work table.
Oh, captioning got the whatever.
I sent the plushies.
Cool. You can actually see this here. Yeah, it should be high. Okay. That should be fine. Okay. You all can see the captioning. Everything looks good with the captioning on my
Wait.
screen.
I can turn on. I'm gonna go back onto Twitch, but I'm gonna deafen for a second so that I don't get an echo at first.
Okay.
You're much clearer on here,
Uh-huh.
but Twitch will do the chat and everything. So
Yeah, just I mean, you'll come back, I'm sure.
I shall be right back.
All right, let me know when you're back so I can start reading. Well, how is everyone else doing today? My day's been good.
Hello.
Hello, welcome back.
Your
I
captioning seems.
No, it makes sense that it'll be staggered
Oh.
because it needs to actually caption it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Delay.
It does that. Also, yeah. It takes a moment. It's gonna be laggy, but it's
Right now it just says with. Oh, there we go.
yeah, the captioning
Now it.
Oh, I hear puppies.
Puppies?
They're No, I'm not going out there. They're fighting out there. I can hear them.
Oh.
They're cute. They do that puppy thing where they fight each other.
Hit you.
Do it, Howard.
All right. So
Time librarian bees.
librarian, storytime reader. Let's.
I mean, you do give librarian vibes.
Oh, good to know.
So hard.
My Snuffkin plushie looks high. That is all.
Isn't Snufkin high in canon though?
Yeah. Okay, doctor.
That's why it's
This
good.
is true. This is true. All right. All right. I'm. Stop. I'm going to read now.
Little weed man. Okay, you can read now.
All right. So, Song the Lioness, the first book, Alanna, by Tamara Pierce. All right, chapter 1, Twins. That's
Whoa.
I regret letting you have a voice on here. I should have restricted you to chat. Literally got one line in and you're already causing problems. Oh, at least this will be...
Respect for
That's fair.
though, not
Yeah, the captioning is awful.
Oh,
This is Diane Cannon though, which I'm gonna say Diane Cannon though.
Yeah, but this is the only website I could find and not download app or purchase thing, and it's an actual captioning website. So, this is what we have, this is what we're using. I also don't have a face cam right now, because I left those in California.
Hot loser.
Eh, I'll suffer. Neither of my cameras were very good anyway.
If I had enough free time, I would offer to caption for you.
Yeah, no. I mean, half of one of my original ideas was just to type out the whole book, and then I went, no, I'm not going to do that.
We have to go eat dinner, or we have to go get dinner.
Yeah.
We will be
Please
back
don't
then.
return.
Okay, well, I'm gonna read while you're gone. Bye!
I miss a whole bunch, but okay.
It's not like you haven't read the book before. Alright, chapter 1. Twins. That's my decision. We need not discuss it, said the man at the desk. He was already looking at a book. His 2 children left the room, closing the door behind them. He doesn't want us around, the boy muttered. He doesn't care what we want. We know that, the girl answered. He doesn't care about anything except his books and scrolls. The boy hit the wall. I don't want to be a knight. I want to be a great sorcerer. I want to slay demons and walk with gods. Do you think I want to be a lady? His sister asked. Walk slowly, Alanna, she said primly. Sit still, Alanna. Shoulders back, Alanna. As if that's all I can do with myself. She paced the floor. There has to be another way. The boy watched the girl. Tom and Alanna of Turban were twins, both red hair and purple eyes. The only difference between them, as far as most people could tell, was the length of their hair. In face and body shape, dressed alike, they would have looked alike. Face it, Tom told Alanna. Tomorrow, you have to leave for the convent and I go to the palace. That's it. Why do you get all the fun? She complained. I'll have to learn sewing and dancing. You'll study tilting and fencing. Do you think I like that stuff? He yelled. I hate falling down and whacking at things. You're the one who likes it, not me. Let captioning kind of catch up. One of the other problems with my captions might be that it can't hear me because it keeps saying I'm too quiet. I'd like to point out that the mic is next to my face. It's just a really quiet microphone, I guess. Oh well. Not really much I can do about that. Alright, and then... where were we? Alright. She grinned. You should have been Alanna. They always teach the girls magic. The thought hit her so suddenly that she gasped. Tom, that's it! Wow.
We returned.
Yes, you have. Alright, gremlins, sit down, take a seat, and listen.
We are. How far are you?
Page 2.
Okay.
Alright. From the look on her face, Tom knew his sister had just come up with yet another crazy idea. What's it? He asked suspiciously. Alanna looked around and checked the hall for servants. Tomorrow he gives us the letters. Tomorrow... I can't speak. Tomorrow he gives us the letters for the man who trains the pages and the people at the convent. You can imitate his writings. You can do new letters saying we're twin boys. You go to the convent. Say in the letter that you're to be a sorcerer. And the daughters of the goddess are the ones who train young boys in magic, remember? When you're older, they'll send you to the priests. And I'll go to the palace and learn to be a knight. Page 3, and
Alana,
Alana's already like, brother, let's do forgery. Let's commit crimes.
Brother, let's commit crimes.
To be
simply commit fraud.
That's what they're doing. It's great.
It is. They're committing fraud.
It is. That's crazy, Tom argued. What about your hair? You can't go swimming naked either, and you'll turn into a girl, you know, with the chest and everything. I'll cut my hair, she replied. And well, I'll handle the rest when it happens. I'm going to remind you all, there are about 10, 11 in this chapter.
My tits.
She's getting ready. The titty.
Oh, I love her.
We love to see it.
Look, man, I'm pretty sure Alana's a she, they.
Good vibes.
Oh, yes. I actually fall more into non-binary, as, she kind of has this thing where she's like, I am a girl, but I'm not a girl, but I'm a girl. And she's like, I am what I'm perceived to be, and in the end, it's something that can kick your ass.
I'm a boy or girl. I'm a threat.
That's it right there. Okay.
My beloved.
I love Alanna. I love her so much.
Best character.
Oh, I know. She's, like, literally my favorite character of all time.
10 out of 10.
Yes.
I don't get into Milo. Milo will mug me for chicken. I wish I was kidding. I'll be sitting like this, and he'll come up, put his hands on my lap, and, like, try to get it from my hand or my fork. I love cats. They're evil.
Yeah. God forbid I bring ice cream in my room. The cats, like, climb on me for it.
See, this is why I don't let the cats in my room when I eat.
Well, yeah, you have to deal with Lewis. I'm technically in the cat's room, so I don't have a choice.
Well,
yeah.
you go to their room, you have to give them food sacrifices.
No, because cats can't have food. They can only have cat food.
They can't have food.
Human food. They can't have people food.
This just in, cats can eat. They don't have mouths.
What, they're not like plants and get their energy from the sun?
No, they are. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm going back to reading.
Photosynthesize.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to
Photosynthesize.
I'm going to pull on myself.
Oh, you all are terrible.
Yeah.
Alright. Maddie says meow in the comments. Okay, where were we? Okay, what about Coram and Maud? They'll be traveling with us, and they can tell us apart. They know we aren't twin boys. She chewed her thumb thinking this over. I'll tell Coram we'll work magic on him if he says anything, she said at last. He hates magic. That ought to be enough. And maybe we can talk to Maud. Tom considered it, looking at his hands. You think he could? You think we could? He whispered. Alanna looked at her twin's hopeful face. Part of her wanted to stop this before it got out of hand, but not a very big part. If you don't lose your nerve...
It gets out of hand.
Huh?
It gets out of the body.
Yeah, it sure does get out of hand. A whole
Well,
lot, actually.
Yeah. It's about to be like, no, one of the twins. And I'm like, no, wait, no, both the twins. Alright. If you don't lose your nerve, she told her twin. And if I don't lose mine, she thought. What about father? He was already looking into the distance, seeing the city of the gods. Alanna shook her head. He'll forget about us once we're gone. She eyed Tom. Do you want to be a sorcerer bad enough? She demanded. It means years of studying and work for both of us. Will you have the guts for it? Tom straightened his tunic. His eyes were cold. Just show me the way. Alanna nodded. Let's go find Maud. Maud, the village healer, listened to them and said nothing. When Alanna finished, the woman turned and stared out the door for long minutes. Finally, she looked at the twins again. Yes?
I find it very erotic. I asked Cass, who's Maud? And then the next sentence you say, Maud, the village healer.
Great, yes, good.
Okay, keep reading.
Yes.
No, don't read ever again.
You know what? Casper, I'm not going to listen to you.
That's probably a good choice.
They didn't know it, but Maud was in difficulty. She had taught them all the magic she possessed. They were both capable of learning much more. There were no other teachers at Turbond. Tom wanted everything he could get from his magic, but he disliked people. He listened to Maud only because he thought she had something left to teach him. He hated Coram, the other adult who looked after the twins, because Coram made him feel stupid. The only person in the world Tom loved, besides himself, was Alanna. Huh?
These game cast ones.
I can't understand you guys. That's okay.
They needed to know where their walker was.
Okay. Okay, there you go.
Because again, 90 degrees.
Oh, yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah, we're gonna die.
Maud thought about Alanna and sighed. The girl was very different from her brother. Alanna was afraid of her magic. Tom had to be ordered to hunt, and Alanna had to be tricked and begged into trying spells. Breathing and not talking at the same time. How about that?
Tricked into baking.
Tricked and begged into trying spells, yes. My captioning still hates me.
Yeah, it's awful, bestie.
I think I need to be on the website opposed to, like, on my thing. I think that might be it. Yep, that's it.
Oh, well, did we figure it out?
I figured it out, yes. Good. I'm smart. I can't monitor comments like this, though, which is my problem.
We can monitor it and tell you if anything happens.
Thank you.
It's
Please.
just me and Maddie right now.
Yes, but please let Maddie have attention, because Maddie's good and deserves attention.
We can get Maddie attention.
Alright. Where the fuck was I? Okay. The woman had been looking forward to the day when someone else would handle these two. Now it seemed the gods were going to test her through them one last time. She shook her head. I cannot make such a decision without help. I must try and see in the fire. Tom frowned. I thought you couldn't. I thought you could only heal. Maud wiped sweat from her face. She was afraid. Never mind what I can and do and what I cannot do, she snapped. Alanna, bring wood. Tom, Vervain.
I just want you to know.
Uh-huh.
The captions for a second
Yeah?
said dick instead of decision.
Good. Also,
I
it's
thought
spelling
that was
Tom
funny.
wrong. It's supposed to be THOM.
Well, what more do you want?
Well, it gets...
It's doing its best.
Bring wood Tom for Van.
Vervain. Vervain.
It says Van.
Yeah, no, it just says pain. I think my captioning has its own. I'm sorry. This thing has its own script and it's pleading for help.
Hey. Do it.
Oh God, where was I? Okay. They rushed to do as she said. Alanna returning first to add wood to the fire already burning on the hearth. Tom soon followed, carrying leaves from the magic plant Vervain. Maud knelt before the hearth and motioned for the twins to sit on either side of her. She felt sweat running down her back. People who tried to use magic that the gods had not given them often died in ugly ways. Maud gave...
Sorry.
No, Maud's lovely. I will tell you, Maud lives and lives to work longer than I think she should have to.
Maud sounds like a grandmother, like an old grandmother.
She becomes Alanna's children's nanny.
We'd love to see
I love her.
I'm sorry, but Maud has to deal with Tom and Alanna, and then later Alanna's 3 children, one of which we'll eventually get to that book in the future somewhere. But Allie is a force to be reckoned with, and I feel so sorry for anyone who had to try and put up with her and her twin brother Alan. Oh, it's gonna misspell
Really?
Alan this whole time too, isn't it? No,
Wait,
Alan.
how is it spelling Alan?
It's spelling it Allen, but it's
That's
Alan.
the wrong spelling. It's a criminal.
You're a criminal.
It's doing its best.
No, it's doing it wrong.
Well, yes, but it doesn't know it's wrong because it's just an automated script based off of what it thinks I'm saying.
Well, it should.
So him Alan.
Alan.
And now it's crying.
And now my now my Twitch hates me.
Aw.
It buffered and I was like, and now it's crying.
Oh, where was it? Maud gave a silent prayer to the great mother goddess, promising good behavior for the rest of her days if only the goddess would keep her in one piece through this. She tossed the leaves into the fire, her lips moving silently with the sacred words. Power from her and from the twins slowly filled the fire. The flames turned green from Maud's sorcery and purple for the twins. The woman drew a deep breath and grabbed the twins' left hands, thrusting them into the fire. Power shot up their arms. Tom yelped and wriggled in pain of the magic now filling him up. Alanna bit her lower lip till it bled, fighting the pain in her own way. Maud's eyes were wide and blank as she kept their intertwined hands in the flames. Suddenly, Alanna frowned. A picture was forming in the fire. That was impossible. She wasn't supposed to see anything. Maud was the one who would cast the spell. Maud was the only one who should see anything. Did you say that was a red flag?
It's a pride flag.
No, unfortunately, it's homophobes.
It's the fates telling her she's gay.
I mean,
she is.
No, we'll get there, because I do believe that's the, very end of this book. But all I'm gonna say is they're homophobes.
I know we'll get there. I've read these books.
You,
I've read a book.
You've read the first one. You read the one we're reading now.
It misgendered me.
Huh? Okay. Ignoring all the laws of magic.
Misgendered me, she on accident. The only thing she said it was a red flag.
Oh, I said,
No?
Did you say that was a red flag? Not she.
No, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it.
No, I'm just. It's not even reading me correctly.
No, it's not reading you correctly at all. Everything you're saying is getting messed up.
And it's highly amusing.
It is very funny.
Good. I'm so sorry for those who have auditory processing and just have to deal with this and this terrible captioning. It's trying its best.
Hopefully, it'll be better on the YouTube, like normal captions, like the auto-generated ones. Hopefully that'll be better.
Auto generation.
And it's all gonna stop.
Yeah, you're gonna have two different auto-generated captions going and neither of them are gonna be correct.
Oops. Oopsie daisy.
Whoops. Who just... Never mind. Alright, ignoring all the laws of magic Alanna had been taught, the picture grew and spread. It was a city made of all black, shiny stone. Alanna leaned forward, squinting to see it better. She'd never seen anything like this city. The sun beat down on gleaming walls and towers. Alanna was afraid. More afraid than she'd ever been.
I too am scared of the sun.
What a mood, though. Who needs sunlight? Other than cats, apparently.
Cats will literally die if you don't give them sunlight.
Yeah, that's fair.
Plants?
Yeah.
Actually, do have elevators.
Cats are plants!
No, because Milo hates the water.
The theme of this episode, cats are plants.
The theme of this episode is supposed to be my hyperfixation since I was 12, but okay.
Well, your hyperfixation includes a cat, so it's okay.
Not in this book, though.
Good.
Alright, Maud let go of the twins. The picture vanished. Alanna was cold now and very confused.
Right.
What had the city been? Where was it? Tom examined his hand. There were no burn marks or even scars. There was nothing to show that Maud had kept their hands in the flames for long minutes. It read Maud as mom, and like, honestly.
So we have to deal with the spider, I guess.
Oof.
Can I smash it with this book back?
I don't have anything else I can use to.
You guys don't have shoes in there?
No, I'm upstairs in my room and all the shoes go downstairs.
You're not allowed to have shoes in your room?
It's because it's carpeted up here.
You can't even carry your shoes to your room.
No,
Alright then.
my door. Where the fuck did it go?
Oh, wow.
There it is. Jumping. Kill it, please.
The issue with that is it keeps disappearing.
It fucking would again.
Where the hell did that fucker go?
Uh-oh.
Jesus. You okay?
I wasn't the spider, but I don't know what the hell.
Hello?
Oh. Okay, well, that thing is gone. I'm gonna be rich.
Cry.
It disappeared.
It disappeared.
Oh, good. You'll find that later. Or one of the cats will find it later.
Screaming and crying.
It's okay. It's okay. You'll be fine. Oh, there we are.
Damn it, it's not the right size.
Maud rocked back on her heels. Well, she looked old and tired. I've seen many things I do not understand, she whispered finally. Many things. Did you see the city? Alanna wanted to know. Maud looked at her sharply. I saw no city. Tom leaned forward. You saw something? His voice was eager, but Maud cast a spell. No, Alanna snapped. I didn't see anything. Tom decided...
Alanna. Don't lie.
Tom decided to wait and ask her later when she didn't look so scared. He turned to Maud. Well? He demanded. The healing woman sighed. Very well. Tomorrow, Tom and I will go to the city of the gods. Drink some water.
Oh my god, that's a jumpy motherfucker. Oh, that's a big one. I'm nervous about that one.
That's a jumpy motherfucker.
It's on my jacket, spider gutty.
Fucking bestie, if
Get off my jacket or I'll cry. Get off or I'll cry.
Just
leave or I'll cry.
Kill it! Just kill it and wash your jacket off. It's not that big a deal.
See, you say that like it's not also making me turn. I looked away for 2 seconds and it's all. It directly hit it! Okay. Yeah, that fucker's crumpled.
Good.
So, I didn't want to go near it because I didn't want it to jump on me. So I chucked the book at it. And it hit spot on.
Oh no. I mean, good aim. I'm gonna continue to read now.
It's crumpled. Crumpled like an old piece of paper.
Do you think if I put my microphone in my mouth, it'll actually read this better?
Oh my god, that is awful.
To be fair, it won't stay so far in my mouth. I don't know why my microphone is just so quiet.
Eat the mic. Eat the mic.
Ah!
Inhale.
I did actually put it in my mouth. I won't be doing that again, though.
I hope you're okay with there just being a spider body there for now.
As long as I know it's dead.
Yeah, no, that fucker is not moving. That
Cool.
That is dead.
Alright.
Milo, I'm getting completely off. Leo?
You.
Milo or Coco?
I mean, Lewis does the same thing, but still, you.
What do you expect? Cats.
Alright,
Also,
next.
apparently now, I heard Kristen screaming.
Oof.
I stated to ignore her and go back to bed.
Valid.
At dawn the next day, Lord Alan gave each of his children a sealed letter and his blessing before instructing Coram and Maud. Hey, it said Alan right this time.
Lord Alan, more like Lord.
Neglectful parent.
Lord Alan. Yeah, he sucks. Lord Alan.
Let me
more
tell
like
you,
Lord.
literally later in the series, he dies and has zero impact on anyone except for now. Oh, Alanna is also managing the fief that they own.
Lord Alan, more like Lord Ass. I'm just getting this because I don't want the rest of that.
It's fine. Alanna gets a new dad at one point.
Correct.
Miles, my
More
beloved.
Like Lord Ass.
Okay, Coram still did not know the change in plan. Alanna did not intend to enlighten him until they were far from Trebond. Once Lord Alan let them go, Maud took the twins into Alanna's room, while Coram got the horses ready. The letters were quickly opened and read. Lord Alan entrusts his son to the care of Duke Gareth of Naxton, and his daughter to the first daughter of the convent. Sums of money would be...
I want you to, instead of saying Lord Alan, for the rest of this time, say Lord Child Neglect.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure he's not mentioned till his death after this. So...
Good.
No, I think he's mentioned one more time when they mentioned something about him sending a letter about Tom. And
I literally
Alanna's...
call him Lord Child Neglect. It's perfect.
I mean, it is. It really is. Alright, sums of money would be sent quarterly to pay for the children's upkeep until such time as their teachers saw fit to return them to their home. He was busy with his duties and trusted all judgment to the Duke and the first daughter and all matters. He was in their debt. Lord Child Neglect of Trebond.
Look, you said duty, and I had to.
Alright. I'm still laughing at child neglect.
Lord Child Neglect.
That's what he is. He does neglect both his children. It read it wrong, but it got the right idea.
What did it say?
That's what he doesn't like both his children.
Oh, correct.
But he does neglect both of them. This is correct. Many such letters went to the convent to play and palace every year. All girls from noble families studied in convents until they were 15 or 16, and at which time they went to court to find husbands. Usually the oldest son of a family learned the skills and duties of a knight at the king's palace. Younger sons could follow their brothers to the palace, or they could go to the first convent, then to the priest cloisters, where they studied religion or sorcery. I got a beep on something. Oh.
Discord.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
It's an interruption, or we're talking about how we keep interrupting.
Yeah, which is what you're doing now.
Yep. Anyway, so how's the weather over in Montana right now?
We had one bright sunny spring day, a giant thunderstorm, a day that was half thunderstorm, half sunny day, and today has been another bright sunny day. So we're vibing out here.
One day where there was a thunderstorm.
Lovely, lovely. Oh, we didn't get that. We got torrential rain, and poor Tawny gets...
No, Beth, you don't understand. It was a nice, kind of warm day. Very sunny.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly, while I'm in the nurse's office because my tummy hurts, there is a very loud crack of thunder, and I step outside, and it is hailing.
Yeah, oof.
It was a normal day. It said there was a possibility of
Uh-oh. You just cut off there.
light rain later in the day. And instead we got
like roughly 11 o'clock.
And then it was like heavily rainy the rest of the day.
Actually, no,
oof.
it was heavily raining after the hail, but then it actually cleared up.
It cleared up near the end though. So it was kind of useless.
Yeah.
Alright.
Anyways, it sure was fun weather here.
And then today's hot as hell.
All right.
Yeah, now it's 90 degrees, so.
Damn, California weather.
90 degrees and we were in a second story bedroom with a fan in the window going and my blackout curtains blocking the sun.
Yeah.
It sure is weather.
Right. Tom was an expert at forging his father's handwriting. He wrote two new letters, one for Alan and one for himself. Alanna read them carefully, relieved to see. Shit, why can't I read right now? It's like what I'm supposed to be doing. My brain's like, I don't know that word. I can't read that word. Relieved to see that there was no way to tell the difference between Tom's work and the real thing.
Interrupting you that you've forgotten what you're doing.
Really, that's just what happened. Is ADHD just took hold.
And it's my fault, and I'm not sorry.
It's because my ADHD and your ADHD bounce off each other.
They do.
ADHD plural.
This is why when we shared a room, nothing ever got done.
It goes from ADHD to 160 HD.
160 HD.
You're right.
I'm crying.
Oh my god. The boy sat back with a grin, knowing that it might be years before the confusion was resolved. And it will be. It most definitely will be.
Those two dates.
How many? It takes what? 8 years for the confusion to be resolved, I think. And even then, there wouldn't have been confusion had Alanna fucking sat down and kept quiet.
Bestie, from what little I know of Alanna, she physically cannot do that.
No, she cannot. You will see later where
Alanna
literally
and
it is.
Quiet don't mix.
There are many times where her best option would be to sit there and shut up, and she just can't.
And does she take it?
No,
Yeah.
she is stubborn and hot-headed in the best way possible.
She gets into so many fights in the first book alone, and I love her for it.
She's an icon.
Literally, there's one kid who keeps bullying her, and like
when
when presented with an adult, in front of her going, hey, look, I know this is happening. You actually just have to tell us this is happening, and then we can do something. She goes, no, I fell down, and then she proceeds to get stronger and beat the shit out of this kid.
Actually should.
Really though, they're like, what's happening? And she's like, I fell down.
I fell down, sir. I have that scene kind of memorized in my head because it's so funny. Because
it is
Duke of Naxton, Gary the Older, is just like Alan. If something is happening, you can tell us. And Alanna just keeps repeating, I fell down, sir.
It is very funny.
I fell down, she says, with a knife.
Like, this did not happen from falling over. Or, I fell down. And he's, like, from the words, you can sense just how done he is with this. He's like, I don't know what you're planning, but please stay out of trouble.
I fell down, sir.
No.
We love her.
We do. We really, really do. Alright. Okay. While Tom climbed into a riding skirt, Maud took Alanna into the dressing room. The girl changed into a shirt, breeches, and boots. Then Maud cut her hair. I have something to say to you, Maud said, with as the first lock fell to the floor. What? Alanna asked nervously. You've got a gift for healing. The shears worked on. Greater than mine, greater than any I have ever known. And your other magic power that you'll learn to use. But healing, that's the important thing. I had a dream last night, a warning. It was as plain as if the gods shouted in my ear. Alanna pictured this, stifling a giggle. Do not laugh at the gods, Maud told her sternly. Though you'll find that out yourself soon enough. What's that supposed to mean? Never mind. Listen, have you thought about the lives you'll take when you go off performing these great deeds? Alanna bit her lip. No, she admitted. I didn't think so. You only see the glory. But there's lives taken, and families without fathers, and sorrow. Think before you fight. Think on who you're fighting, if only because one day you must meet your match.
Alanna's gonna be a family without a father.
No, that's... Oh, yeah. Also, no.
What do you mean, no?
Because she has an adopted
We
father.
were just talking about that.
She has an adopted father.
It's true.
There's literally,
There is that.
I think, only like a half a book in which she doesn't have a father.
Well, that's still fatherless behavior.
Look, man, Alanna is her own parent.
Correct. That's called parentification, and that's not healthy.
No, it's called She Was Raised by Maud and Coram, and these two bred the weirdest two children.
That is true.
Why is it spelling Coram like that?
I wasn't spelling it.
It's spelled it with a Q. It's hold on. Where's the spelling?
Yes.
Coram.
Quorum.
It's Coram. It had it, and then it didn't have it. Thank you. It's whatever. Okay.
Quorum.
We're at...
No other letter. Just you're supposed to get the whole name out of that.
Whatever. It's Coram Smithy's son, and there's a Y in there, and it's great.
I always forget that it's Smithyson because my brain autopilots it to Smithson.
Yeah, it's Smithy's son.
Smithyson.
It's because he's quite literally the son of a smith.
He's the son of a smithy.
Where was I? Okay. Oh, if only because one day you'll meet your match. Which, yeah, technically, and then she defeats it. And it's essentially a god.
Yeah.
She fights many things that are essentially gods, actually. But yeah.
Alanna, fighter of gods.
I mean, essentially. You kidding me? Had she known that her daughter had been taken by a god, she would have tried to fight it. That's why it was kept secret. Look, man, when we get to Allie's book, which is like one of the last books, we're gonna have a time. Because Allie is like the perfect amount of stubborn and chaos. Because she is like both of her parents.
We love to see it.
Okay, look, I'm making a prediction now. It's not a very hard prediction to make, but by the end of the whole series, like all 18 plus books, George is going to be the, like, favorite. Because honestly, he's fantastic. And he's literally, like, a suave, sarcastic thief. Which is, you know, kind of like the best. But...
Yes, it's the best type of character.
He is chaotic as hell, and he marries Alanna and has 3 children, and Allie is probably the worst of them.
And we love her for it.
I missed, like,
Huh?
We were...
I was gone for like 3 minutes.
Oh, we didn't read any of the book. We're just talking about Alanna and her children, and how Alanna does and will fight gods.
So, it's so warm.
Aww.
The mini Reese's that I have are completely melted.
Oh. Where was I actually in this book? And if you want to pay for those lives you do take, use your healing magic. Use it all you can, or you won't cleanse your soul of death for centuries. It's harder to heal than it is to kill. The mother knows why, but you have a gift for both.
You have others.
Quickly, she brushed Alanna's cropped hair. Keep your head up for a bit, but you look enough like Tom to fool anyone but Coram. Alanna stared at herself in the mirror. Her twin stared back. Violet eyes widened in his pale face. Grinning, she wrapped herself in her cloak. With the last peek at the boy in the mirror, she followed Maud out to the courtyard. Coram and Tom already mounted up, waiting for them. Tom rearranged his skirts and gave his sister a wink. Maud stopped Alanna as she went to mount the pony Chubby. Heal, child. Oh, the woman advised. Heal all you can, or you'll pay for it. The gods mean for their gifts to be used. Alanna swung herself into the saddle and patted Chubby with a comforting hand. Huh?
Oh, I said that was cryptic.
Oh, yeah. That's what we call foreshadowing. Anyway, the pony, sensing it was the good twin on his back.
Alanna is non-binary.
Oh, right? Like that whole scene of her, like, smiling at herself in the mirror. Like, I'm like, yeah, no, I know that feeling too, girl. Okay. The pony, sensing the good twin was on his back, stopped fidgeting. When Tom was riding him, Chubby managed to dump him. Chubby does not like Tom. That's just how it go. I keep losing my place because I keep checking my computer stuff. Alright.
Sorry. We're also talking about lighting a pair of capri khakis on fire. They're just as ugly as they sound. I'm pretty sure that won't fit me because they're like size 15 and I'm a size 8. Yeah, capri khakis deserve to be burned.
Yeah.
They're so shit.
Man, I'm so glad I don't have to wear khakis anymore.
Must be fucking nice.
I can wear jeans to work. Haha.
We'll find them. Just when it gets hot.
I can't wear tank tops though.
Fine.
So like even when it gets hot, I still have to have sleeves. Alright, the twins and the two servants waved farewell to the assembled castle servants, who had come to see them off. Slowly they rode through the castle gate, Alanna doing her best to imitate Tom's pout, or the pout Tom would be wearing if he were riding to the palace right now. Tom was looking down at his pony's ears, keeping his face hidden. Everyone knew how the twins felt about being sent away. The road leading from the castle plunged into heavily overgrown and rocky country. For the next day or so, they would be riding through unfriendly forest of the Grimhold Mountains, a great natural border between Tortal and Skarna. It was familiar land to the twins, while it might seem dark and unfriendly to the people in the south. To Alanna and Tom, it would always be home. At mid-morning, they came to the meeting of Turbondway and the Great Road. Whew! Hello, speech impediment getting in my way.
Speech impediment? Never heard of her.
Says the people who have says the people. Yes, you're multiple people. It says the person who has the same speech impediment as me. Oh.
No.
Patrolled by the king's men, the great road led north to the distant city of the gods. And that was the way Tom and Maud would take. Alanna and Coram were bound south to the capital city of Chorus and the royal palace. The two
Don't mind the noises.
What what noises?
Exactly.
No, I actually can't hear them that much, so you're good.
Uh-oh. Okay, good.
Keep it that way.
You sound like you're struggling.
I am.
Oh.
Alright, the two servants went apart to say goodbye and give the twins some privacy. Like Tom and Alanna, it would be years before Coram and Maud saw each other again. Though Maud would return to Turbond, Coram was to remain with Alanna, acting as her manservant during the years at the palace. Alanna looked at her brother and gave a little smile. Here we are, she said. I wish I could say have fun, Tom said frankly, but I can't see how anyone can have fun learning to be a knight. Good luck, though. If we're caught, we'll both be skinned. No one's going to catch us, brother. She reached across between them and gripped hands warmly. Good luck, Tom, and watch your back.
They're siblings, Your Honor.
They are. There are a lot of tests ahead for you, Tom said earnestly. Watch your back. I'll pass the test, Alanna said, but she knew those were brave words, almost foolhardy. But Tom looked as if he needed to hear them. They turned their ponies and then rejoined the adults. Let's go, Alanna growled to Coram. Maud and Tom took the left fork of the great road, and Alanna and Coram bore right. Alanna halted suddenly, turning around to watch her brother ride off. She blinked the burning feelings from her eyes, but she couldn't ease the tight feeling in her throat. Something told her Tom would be very different when she saw him again. With a sigh, she turned Chubby back towards the capital city. Coram made a face and urged his big gliding forward. He would have preferred doing anything but escorting a finicky boy to the palace. Once he had been the hardiest soldier in the king's army. Now he was going to be a joke. People would see that Tom was no warrior, and they would blame Coram, the man who was to have taught him... Huh? Okay. The man who was to have taught him the basics of warrior's craft. He rode for hours without a word, thinking his own gloomy thoughts, too depressed to notice that Tom, who usually complained after an hour's ride, was silent as well. Coram had been trained as a blacksmith, but he had once been one of the best of... Coram had been trained as blacksmith, but he had once been one of the best of the king's foot soldiers, until he returned home to Turbon Castle and became sergeant at arms there. Now, he wanted to be with the king's soldiers again, but not if they were going to laugh at him because he had a weakling for a master. Why couldn't Alanna have been the boy? She was a fighter. Coram had taught her first, because to teach one twin was to teach the other. Poor motherless things. Then he began to enjoy...
Only he knew.
Right? Then he began to enjoy teaching her. She learned quickly and well, better than her brother. With all his heart, Coram's smithy son wished now that he had in his as he had in his past, which said Alanna were the boy. Let me spell out smithy son for you. Smythesson. Smithy son.
Yeah, it's awful. I know. I've tried to read it before. I hate it.
You'd think it'd be Smith Y son. No. Smith with a Y, and then an E in the middle, and then son. Smithy son.
I thought that was a good name.
Her name is Tamara Pierce, and she's actually a lovely writer.
Yeah, she's a lovely writer who chose an awful name for a character.
This is her first book.
There is something over there that is probably on top of a dead spider.
Well, sucks to be that.
Okay.
Used to be like thrown over there.
Alright, he was about to get his wish in a left-handed way. The sun was glinting from directly overhead.
The captain's read Smithyson is Sissy son. I didn't think that'd be funny enough to kill ya.
No, we're good. You can't kill me. I'm God.
There.
He was a...
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm better. Anyway, the sun was glinting from directly overhead. Time for the noon meal. Coram grunted orders to the cloaked child, and they both dismounted in a clearing beside the road. Pulling bread and cheese from a saddlebag, he broke off a share and handed it over. He also took the wineskin down from his saddle horn. Huh? You're bread? Yes, I know.
I'm bread.
Yes, I know. You are breadfast.
Bread and cheese. I'm bread. Haha, loser. You can't have cheese.
We'll make it to the Way House before dark, if not before, he rumbled. Till then, we make do with this. Alanna removed her heavy cloak. This is fine with me. Coram choked, spraying a mouthful of liquid all over the road. Alanna had to clap him on the back before he caught his breath again. Brandy, he whispered, looking at the wineskin. He returned to his eating problem. By the black god, he roared, turning spotty purple. We're going back this instant, and I'm tanning your hide. I'm sorry, he has an accent. He's like meant to sound Scottish, by the way. I just can't do a Scottish accent.
That did not work, Becky.
Becky.
Yeah, that's what I called.
No, I didn't try to say bestie, but you realized hella hard.
No, Bethy.
Bethy, that's my name, yes.
No.
One of these.
I wasn't trying to say bestie, I was just saying her name.
We're going back this instant. I'm tearing your hide for ye when we get home. And where's that devil spawn in your brother? Where's that devil spawn brother of yours? That's the actual line. I just can't read right now because I'm laughing. Because Corum is amazing. Corum, calm down. Have a drink. I don't want a drink, he snarled. I want to beat you. I want to beat the two of you till your skins won't hold water. He took a deep gulp from the wineskin. Tom's on his way to the city of the god with Maud, Alanna explained. She thinks we're doing the right thing. Corum swore under his breath. That which would agree with you two sorcerers. And what does your father say? Why should he ever know? Alanna asked. Corum, you know Tom doesn't want to be a knight. I do. I don't care if the two of you want to be dancing bears, Corum told her, taking another swallow from the squid. You're a girl. Who's to know? She bent forward, her small face intent. From now on, I'm Alan of Turbond, the younger twin. I'll be a knight.
You're a girl, or am I?
That's exactly what she's doing. I'll be a knight. Tom will be a sorcerer. It'll happen. Maud saw it first in the fire. Corum made a sign against evil with his right hand. Magic made him nervous. Maud made him nervous. He drank again to settle his nerves. Lass, it is a noble thought, a warrior's thought, but it'll never work. If you're not caught when you bathe, then you'll be turned into a woman. I can hide all that with your help. If I can't, I'll disappear. Your father will have my hide. She made a face. Father doesn't care about anything but his scrolls. She drew a deep breath. Corum.
Yeah, that's why
I'm being nice.
Child neglect.
Yeah, but Corum, I'm being nice.
That's a canon nickname now.
Yes.
Canon nickname, Lord Child Neglect.
That's what Miles and Gareth the Older called Sir Child Neglect in secret. Anyway.
Look, man, it's accurate.
It is. It absolutely is. Alright, Corum, I'm being nice. Tom wouldn't be this nice. Do you want to see things that aren't there for the next 10 years? I can work that. You know, remember when Cook was going to tell Father who ate the cherry tarts? Or the time Godmother tried to get Father to marry her? Corum turned pale. The afternoon the tarts were discovered missing, Cook started to see large, hungry lions following him around the kitchen. Lord Child Neglect never heard about the missing tarts. When the twins' godmother came to Trabant to snare Lord Child Neglect as her next husband, she had fled only after 3 days, claiming the castle was haunted. You wouldn't, he whispered. He had always had suspected the twins had been behind in the cook's hallucinations and Lady Catherine's ghost, but he had kept those thoughts to himself. Cook gave himself airs, and Lady Catherine was cruel to her servants. Seeing she had struck a nerve, Alanna changed tactics. Tom can't shoot for the beans, and I can. Tom wouldn't be a credit to you. I will. I think you said yourself of a grown man can't skin a rabbit faster than me. She fed her last piece of bread to Chubby and looked at Corum with huge pleading eyes. Let's ride on. If you feel the same in the morning, we can turn back. She crossed her fingers as she lied. She had no intention of returning to Trabond. Just don't rush. Father won't know till it's too late.
I love her.
Right? Right? I also love that they just harass people.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, but them doing that gives me serotonin to think about.
Also the fact that Corum and Maud did not care. They're like, well, you know, they deserved it. Oh. Corum swigged again from the skin, getting up shakily. He mounted, watching the girl. They rode silently while Corum thought and drank. The threat about making him see things didn't worry him much. Instead, he thought of Tom's performance in archery.
And Hello Kitty, your boyfriend and girlfriend.
See, I've always thought of Garfield more as the weird uncle to Hello Kitty.
I agree with that, actually.
You know what? I like that. It's just because it's I was shown art. So that's what I said out loud.
Alright then. I'm gonna go back to reading. It was quicker. It was enough to make a soldier cry. Alanna was much quicker than her brother. She rarely tired, even hiking over rough country. She had a feel for the fighting arts, and she was something that could never be learned. She was also stubborn as a mule. Because he was absorbed in his thoughts, Coram never saw the wood glide snake cross the road. Never saw the wood snake glide across the road. I am awful at reading. Alanna and Coram's horse spotted the slithery creature in the same section. The big glidling reared, almost throwing his master. Chubby stopped dead in the road. Surprised by these antics, Coram yelled and fought to hold his mount, bucked frantically, terrified by the snake. Alanna never stopped to think. She threw herself from Chubby's saddle and grabbed for Coram's reins with both hands, dodging the glidling's hooves frantically. She used all her strength and weight to pull the horse down before Coram fell and broke his neck. The glidling, more surprised than anything else by the new weight on his range. Did it read it as corn?
Yeah, for a split second, as I was looking on here, it read it as Corn. And
Perfect.
I think that's funny.
Good.
His name is now Corn, actually.
I will not be calling him that, but okay. The glidling, more surprised than anything else by his new weight on the reins.
Neglect and Corn.
No, because Coram's a cool character and he sticks around all 4 books.
Yeah, he's cool. That's why we have to change his name.
I'm not changing his name. Because I will forget by next
Corn
book.
now.
It's not happening. He trembled as Alanna stroked his nose, whispering comforting words. She dug in her pocket and produced an apple for the horses, continuing to pet him until his shaking stopped. When Alanna looked up, Coram was watching her oddly. She had no way of knowing that he was imagining what Tom would have done in the similar circumstances. Her twin would have left Coram to fend for himself. Coram knew the kind of courage it took to calm a large bucking horse. It was the kind of courage a knight needed in plenty.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Even so, Alanna was a girl.
I know you said bucking.
Huh?
I thought you said something.
But what I heard was a different word
Yeah, I know.
that I know wouldn't be written in there. But that I really wish
Yeah,
was.
unfortunately, they never go full swearing. But I think at a couple times that there's like small swear words and a lot of implied ones because Alanna has a terrible potty mouth because of Coram.
And we love her for it.
Alright, I'm gonna take a small break and use the restroom. I shall be back in like 5 minutes, maybe less. So, maybe get yourself some more food or something.
We already ate dinner.
Yeah, I will be muting until you come back.
I'm back with food as well. Uh-oh, did people leave?
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
No.
No, never? You'll never leave me, right? You'll be here forever? Anyway, how's it going? Hello?
Said we'll never leave, so I muted again.
Oh, you're so mean.
I'm joking. Joking, I would never leave you.
My own sibling hates me.
I would literally never. Beth, I am moving to the same state as
This is true.
you. I literally love you. I don't want to hear it.
Also, I have food. I am pleased. Okay.
A bunch of gender.
I have cats around me now, too. Go away, cats.
We love this years.
Yes.
No, don't tell them to go away. They don't deserve that.
No, he's trying to
Give
eat my
him
food.
pets and
He's.
give him pets.
I did. But I don't want to encourage
Like,
begging.
my sketches.
Yeah, I'm looking at your uncle.
Alright, where was I? By the time they arrived at the Way House, Quorum was very drunk. The innkeeper helped him into bed, and while his wife fussed over the poor wee lad. In her bed that night, Alanna listened to Quorum's snores with a wide grin on her lips. Maud managed to fill the wineskin with Lord Child Neglect's best brandy, hoping her old friend might be more...
Sorry, I know I told you to do it, but every time I hear Lord Child Neglect, I can't not laugh. It's good, keep doing it, but also, I can't not laugh at that.
Oh, right, though? Alright, hoping that her old friend might be more open to reason if his joints were well oiled. Quorum woke the next morning with the worst hangover he's ever had. He moaned as Alanna entered the room. Don't walk so loud, he begged. Alanna handed him a steaming mug. Drink. Maud says that this makes you feel better every time. The man drank deeply, gasping as the hot liquid burned down his throat. But in the end, he did feel better. He swung his feet to the floor, gently rubbing his tender skull. I need a bath. Alanna pointed to the bath already waiting in the corner. Alanna glared at her from beneath his eyebrows. Go order breakfast. I Ah, throat. Go order breakfast. I take it I'm to call ye Alan now. God, I hate reading Quorum's lines without the accent, but I can't do the accent.
Yee.
He does, because
He said yee.
he's supposed
like
to be.
Yeehaw.
She yelped and
Scottish? No. Cowboy.
she yelped with joy and skipped from the room. 4 days later, they rode into court.
The cowboy version of him is named Corn.
I hate you.
No, but it's working.
All right. 4 days later, they.
Bees.
Yeah.
Maddie demanded that you give the stuff for her.
Man and cat love.
Yeah.
Come here, Felix. Felix has been pet. Chance is busy doing other things, but he knows he's loved. All right.
Actually, like.
I literally was so happy. That cat is terrified of people. But he sniffed my hand and then let me pet his cheek and was happy about it.
I think he's slowly getting because of how often I wear jackets.
That's fair though.
They're all in my bed. And he comes and tells me at night, so he's getting used to it.
I love him. Oh, he's such a cute little boy. Sorry, this was interrupting the book reading for cats.
That's
Again,
fair.
the theme of this episode is cats.
It's always cats with us because most of us own cats. Anyway, 4 days later, they rode into Chorus just after dawn. They were part of a stream of people entering the capital for market day. Quorum guided his horse through the crowds, while Alanna tried to keep Chubby close behind him and still see everything. Never in her life has she encountered so many people. She saw merchants, slaves, priests, nobles. Actually, this is an error. It says slaves, but later on, it'll go on to say that slaves are illegal in Tortal. And in fact,
Doesn't mean that people don't do it.
Yeah, but no,
Just
not
means
they
it's
don't
not
do it.
legal.
They don't do it brandedly open in the marketplace like this.
Well,
so that's just an
then
interesting
the writer
note.
messed up a little bit.
This is also her first book, I should
She
say.
added it at one point and then went, I don't like this.
Yeah. She's a lovely person who apparently houses animals. So.
Oh, I love her.
Oh yeah, there is so many animals in this book. In these books, like Alanna, I think only really has Faithful and like a couple of horses. But then when you get to Diane literally speaks to animals. So there's all sorts of animals around her, including a dragon. Kel has a dog and like literally a flock of birds.
And we love to see it.
We do. Oh, Allie has the crows on her side. But the crows can also turn into people. She marries one of them. It's great.
We love to see it.
We do, but I need to keep reading on because this is where one of my favorite characters is going to get introduced soon. Alright. She could tell that the Bazir, desert tribesmen, by their heavy white burnooses. I hate this word. I think burnouses or burnooses or something like that. I can never read it properly. It's not an American word. Just as she spotted seamen by their braided pigtails, she was lucky that Chubby was inclined to stay near Corum's gliding. Ugh.
It took all of my physical effort not to laugh at the seaman.
Yeah, I know. Same here, actually. Or she would have been lost in a second. The marketplace itself.
It took every inch of my body working together to not burst out laughing at you saying seaman.
Yeah, that's fair.
Don't look at chat.
I don't want to look at chat. Something tells me.
And guys, we need more.
Alright.
And I was attacked. So.
Alright, the marketplace itself was almost more than a girl from the mountain castle could take. Alanna blinked her eyes at the bright colors, piles of orange and yellow fruits, hangings of bright blue and green, ropes of gold and silver chains. Some people were staring as openly as she was, others shoved their goods under people's noses, shouting for them to buy. Women in tight dresses eyed men from doorways, and children ran underfoot, sneaking their hands into pockets and purses. Corum missed nothing. And keep an eye on your saddlebags, he called back to Alanna. Catch my breath for a second, because I'm trying to read fast, and it's like, no, I need to read slower. Right.
You got this, beast.
There are some here that would steal their own... There are some here that would steal their own mother's teeth. He seemed to be directing that comment at a tall young man standing near Alanna. The lean young man grinned.
I'd steal my mother's teeth.
The young man in question loves his...
teeth. I'd steal my own teeth.
I'm gonna let you know the young man in question here loves his mother very much, excuse you. And she does not like that he's a thief. Anyway... The lean young man grinned, white teeth flashing in his tanned face. Who? Me? He asked innocently. Corum snorted and kicked his horse onward. The man winked one bright hazel eye at Alanna and vanished into the crowd. She watched him until someone shouted for her to watch herself. She wondered if he really was a thief. He seemed very nice. Anyone want to guess who that is?
Some little punk. Yeah.
Really descriptive.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that does kind of describe his whole gist. No, he's the king of thieves. Anyway, he's I think 17, or it'll say he's like 17, but no one believes him when he says that. I believe he's supposed to be like 17, but actually younger than 17. If that makes sense. They don't ever clarify his age. They literally never clarify his age. but he says he's
love
17 at one point, and that's really all we have to go, is that and a lot of skepticism at that.
Well, I love him. He's good.
Yeah, he's a good character. I love him too. Oh, I'm thoroughly convinced that George there is a bisexual, and because he has kind of a flirty vibe overall to him. But yeah, no, you'll get it as we go on. It's great. I'm eating some bread right now.
I'm already aware of this.
It's good. I have sourdough. Haha. I made myself some dipping sauce.
Are you happy, bees?
I am. It's very tasty. Alright.
I'm eating candy.
Good. I opted against the cookies because those are going to make my mouth all, like, sticky. Because they're, like, the frosted sugar cookies. So.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, those won't be good. They're so good. The IGA sells them here for, like, $4, and I, like, can never control myself. Alright. They left the marketplace, taking the market way, up a long, sloping hill. This led them through districts where rich merchants lived, up past villas of even richer nobles. The crossing of Market Way and Harmony Way marked the beginning of the Temple District. Here, the Market Way changed its name, becoming Palace Way. Coram straightened his saddle. After his years of soldiering, this was like coming home. Alanna saw countless temples as they rode through the district. Ooh, excuse me. She had heard that 100 gods were worshipped in Chorus. There were enough temples for that many, she thought. She even saw a troop of women dressed in armor, the guard of the temple of the Great Mother Goddess. Those women were armed with great double-headed axes. Yeah?
I'm gonna say motherfucker.
What?
The great motherfucker.
No, the Great Mother Goddess. She is kind of a motherfucker, though. Anyway.
Oh, motherfucker.
No, I'm sorry. Listen to the way Alana's staring at these girls. Like, Alanna is staring at these warrior women. Anyway.
Yeah, Alana's a little fruity.
Alana's a lot fruity. The women were armed with great double-headed axes. Literally, she described her future husband as, he seemed nice. And she's like, these warrior women. Like...
Look, man. Look, man. She's...
Yeah.
She sure is fruity.
Yes, she is.
That's okay, we love her.
We do. Alright, where was I? Oh. These women were armed with great double-headed axes, and they knew how to use them. Their duty was to keep men from ever setting foot on the grounds sacred to the Great Mother. Alanna grinned. Someday she would wear armor too, but she wouldn't be confined to temple grounds. The ground suddenly rose steeply. The temple district ended here. Above them, crowding the hill, was the royal palace. I need to finish my piece of bread. It's good. Very tasty. Very pleased. Oh, nom 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 nom.
Thanks, bread.
As you're tasting. Whoa.
Oh no, we're coming to the part where I have to be careful which Alan they're talking of. Why, of all names, did she take her father's? Other than the fact that I thoroughly believe it. Well, that's my name now. He can't have it. She also names her child Alan.
She names her... To be fair, it's good that we separated it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we gave him a different name.
Yeah. But no. She like...
Or child murder. Or not murder. Neglect. Well.
Neglect. No, he wouldn't kill his children. He's not that bad. But no, she also ends up naming her second son Alan. And I'm like, I thoroughly believe that's after herself and not her father.
Oh, well, duh.
I imagine she gives birth to twins. They go, this one's Aline, and this one's Alan. And George goes, oh, you're naming it after your father. And she goes, no, it's named after me. And he goes, even better.
Yes, good.
Oh.
I just witnessed the, undo lion again. And me too, bestie. Look, overall, and then you have to redo the same line 30 times. It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
And I hate it with a passion.
What a mood, though. Like, why can't I just be perfect on the first try?
Exactly! This is a crime!
Alright, Alanna looked at it and gasped. Ahead of her was the city gate, carved with thousands of figures and trimmed with gold. Through this gate, in the palace walls, kings and queens came down to the city on holy days. Through this gate, the people went to see the rulers on the great audience days. The gate was as high as the wall it pierced, a wall lined with soldiers dressed in royal gold and red. Behind the wall, level after level of buildings and towers rose, up to the palace itself. The area had its own gardens, wells, stables, barracks, and a menagerie. Outside the wall, on the other side, lay the royal forest. All these things Alanna knew from her father's books and maps. But the reality took her breath away, as a paragraph written in a book could never. Or never could. Anyway. The author flexing on us how much better it looks elsewhere.
Great reading sentence there.
Thank you. My book just fucking, like, I put it down and went to grab my bookmark and it fucking flipped. So now I gotta find where we were.
Oh.
There it is. There
Oh,
it
no.
is. I found it. We're good. I went to grab the bookmark. Alright, oh, I wanted water. That's why I was putting it down. Alright. Cora,
I love you.
I love you too. Anyway. Oh no. Alright. All these. No, I read that already. Okay, Cora led the way to the courtyard besides the stables. Here, servants awaited the arrival of guests to show them to their rooms. To guide the arrival servants and to take charge of the horses, one such servant approached them. Coram dismounted. I am Coram Smithyson, a Nafif Turban. I've come with Master Alan of Turban to begin his service at court. Ooh, excuse me. The holster bowed. A royal page rated some respect, but not the respect of a full-grown noble would get. I'll be taking the horses, sir, said the voice with a thick accent of the city. Timian, he called. A slender man in royal livery hurried up. Aye, Stefan? One for his grace. I'll see you to the bags. Slender and what? That's like Slender Man.
Man is in here.
A slender man.
Yeah, the words were a slender man.
But,
And we both just went Slender Man. Hello?
oh my god. Alright. Alanna dismounted and hugged Chubby for a second, feeling as if he were her last friend. She had to hurry and catch up to Timian and Coram. You'll show his grace the proper respect, Coram growled in her ear. A wizard with a sword he is, and a better leader than you'll never meet. Alanna rubbed her nose anxiously. What if something went wrong? What if the Duke guessed? She glanced at Coram. The man was sweating. Or was sweating, not swearing. He's probably doing that too, but the man was sweating. Alanna gritted her teeth and thrust her chin forward stubbornly. She would see this through. That's chapter 1. I'm gonna eat some bread and then we'll move on to chapter 2.
So what I've learned from chapter 1 is we love Alanna and also hate for child neglect.
That's fair.
And also that this character named Corn who has a southern accent.
He doesn't have a southern accent.
Also that cats photosynthesize. And Garfield and Hello Kitty are related.
Not siblings, they're related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned today.
Y'all concern me.
You also learned some
My script
I
is...
forgot to hear Riley's Genshin rants.
I did.
Oh god. Who's letting her talk about Genshin again?
Me,
Stop.
I instigate because I was very bored.
That's fair, actually.
Because Mike was there for like most of the morning,
Ugh.
and he basically told Casper just to sit there and shut up.
Really though, I got there and he was like, "Don't distract them when I started talking," and I was just like, all I was doing was talking. They're still working. Hello? Yeah, that's what I don't like.
Yes.
I mean, I already hated him, so it's fine, but. Anyways, continue with the book.
I'm eating bread. Hold on. I'm like super hungry, okay?
You're eating me?
No!
Oh, he's right.
I'm eating sourdough. You're definitely not sourdough. You're like a buttermilk bread, to be honest.
Nasty.
I love sourdough. It's so good.
Like a what?
Buttermilk
What
bread.
kind of bread would I be?
You're buttermilk bread.
Bread.
I get it because I'm white.
Yeah, because you're white. No, buttermilk bread is different. It's like,
bread.
it's a type of white bread. But it's like,
bread.
I want to say sweeter, but not really sweeter. A creamier bread? I don't know how to like phrase it.
It only has a slight.
Like it's different than white
get what
bread,
you mean
but it
now.
is a white bread.
I do prefer it.
Yeah.
So. I am uncooked toast.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, because you're white.
Yeah, because I'm bread.
Well, I mean, you're also like super anemic, so you're like really pale.
Yeah. There is that too.
Wait, what did that say that you were?
Anemic.
Oh, yeah.
Low iron.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate.
You got my blood tested the other day, and they were like, your iron levels are kind of low. And I was like, yeah, bestie, I know. We're working on that already.
You're like, yeah, they've been that way since birth.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm like, I don't think you've ever not been anemic.
You're probably right, honestly.
Yeah, I am right, because I've known you since...
Irons up and stuff.
But no, you were born anemic. I know you were anemic as a small child.
You need to take iron is important. This dumbass forgot his pills.
I did.
He remembered his other pills, but forgot his daily ones.
Bird.
Yeah, I went sleep over. I should take my anti-acid pills so that I can eat things. And then I forgot my nightly pills
Oh.
that I have to take every night.
This is the second time he's done this while coming over, by the way.
I'm dumb.
Kiddo, I love you.
It's okay.
Alright, chapter 2, the new page.
I love you too.
Duke Gareth
Whoa.
Gareth of
It is a new
Naxton.
page.
Yeah, we are. We are on a new page.
Duke Gareth of Naxton was tall and thin, with dull brown hair that fell into his muddy brown eyes. Though he was plain looking, there was something commanding about him all in the same. Alanna of Turbond, huh? His voice was thin and nasal. He frowned as he opened the seal of Alanna's letter. I trust you will do better here than your sire. He was always at his books. Alanna swallowed hard. The Duke made her nervous. He still is, sir. The Duke looked at her startlingly, not sure if she was being pert. I would suppose so. He smiled and nodded at Alanna's serving man. Coram Smithyson. It's been a long time since the Battle of the Joyous Forest. Wow, what a name. Coram bowed, grinning. I didn't think your lordship would remember. That was 20 years ago, and me myself, and me but a lad myself. Jesus, Coram, please speak like a normal person. I don't forget it when a man saves my life.
No.
You're welcome to the
Scottish.
palace. And you'll like it here, though. No, you boy, you'll work hard. Duke Gareth turned his attention back to Alanna. Sit down, both of you. They obeyed. You're here, Alanna of Turbond, to learn what it is to be a knight and a noble of Tortal. Well, it's not... I couldn't burp for a moment, but needed to burp.
That was
It was weird.
That was definitely not in the book reading, I'm pretty sure.
No, that was just my chest being
I don't
weird.
think that was.
Alright, it's not easy. You must learn to defend the weak, to obey your overlord, to champion the cause of right. Someday you may even be able to tell what right is. It's impossible to tell if he was joking, but Alanna decided not to ask. Until you are 14, you will be a page, the Duke went on. You will wait on the table at the evening meal. You will run errands for any lord or lady who asks you. Half your day will be spent learning fighting arts. The other half you will learn to spend with books in the hope that you can teach your...
You're cutting off a little bit, by the way.
Damn.
Is that our internet?
Yeah.
Shoot. Shit.
Yeah.
Darn.
Alright, the
I'll
other...
just rewatch the VOD then.
It's fine, I have to go
you
back
cut
because
out
I
on
butchered
the
the
last
sentence. I butchered the last sentence, so I'm just gonna reread it anyway. The other half you will spend with books,
well,
in the
it works
hopes
out for
that we
both of us,
can...
doesn't it?
Yep, in the hope that we can teach you how to think. If your masters think you're ready, you will be made squire when you are 14. Perhaps a knight will choose you as his body squire. If so, you'll tend to your master's belongings, run his errands, protect his interests, or your other lessons will continue. They'll be harder, of course. When you are 18, you'll undergo the ordeal of knighthood. If you survive, you will be a knight of Tortal. Not everyone survives. He held up his left hand, revealing a missing finger. I lost this in the chamber of the ordeal. He sighed. Don't worry about the ordeal now. You have 8 years to think about it.
You know what's really funny to me?
What?
You know what's really funny to me?
What?
The idea of him being like, I lost this finger in there.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, really? He lost it doing something really stupid there? Like, he was in it, and, like, he pulled something, like, really dumb with his sword. Like, he fumbled with his sword and cut his own finger off. And he's, like, using it as a scary story to tell everybody so that they know that it's dangerous. But in reality, he wasn't. He was just stupid.
Do you want to know what the Chamber of Ordeal is?
Sure.
It's essentially a chamber where you're made to face your own nightmares.
That'd be a whole lot of weird stuff then. I have had a lot of nightmares in my life, and all of them are wild.
You see it twice in these in the whole series. You see it once for Alanna and then once for Kel. And both times are just, like, awful. And it's like, I respect these children. It doesn't kill anyone in Alanna's books, but I think kills one person in Kel's books and horribly, like, nightmares to other people. But they were awful, awful people and deserved it.
I have a very important question.
Yes.
Right, is Kel fruity?
Yes, actually, she is canonly asexual.
Good.
We'll get to Kel's books. Kel's books would be the third series in the series. So it's Alanna's 4 books, Diane's 4 books, Kel's 3 books.
Series in the series.
Yeah, no, well, because so Tortal is a weird, like a big, large series, but there's a bunch of, like, smaller series in it. Alanna has 4 books.
No,
Diane has 4 books.
So, like,
Kel has 4 books. Yeah. It's like 18 books in the series. There's 3 for Becca, which I think we'll probably read before Kel's. So really, we'll be reading Kel's 4th. Because I think the way I'm gonna go about it in reading these, we're gonna do Alanna's first. We're gonna do Diane's. We're gonna do Becca's. We're gonna do Kel's. And then we're going to do Allie's, and then hopefully more of Numeri's books will be out later, because right now only one of his is out. Oh, we're also going to read, yeah, there's like 18 books, because there's also the Tortal and Other Lands, which is like a collection of short stories placed in Tortal. You get an extra story for Allie, so I have to read it after Allie's books. and like modern day stuff too. That's kind of cool.
That actually sounds really neat.
I love it. You also get some looks at some like other countries that you don't get to look at in the books. Cause there's a Tishuan that you see people from it and you hear a lot about it, but you never see anything about the country itself. But one of the Toral and Other Lands books has like a girl from Tishuan. It's cool.
That actually does sound cool.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Beth, you're gonna get me into another hyperfixation, and I'm gonna be mad about it.
Yeah, guess what? There's no fandom for this hyperfixation. That's why I'm trying to create one. There's like a handful of people who do fan art for it, and like some people that know of it, but there's really nothing, and it's really hard to come by anything. So, you know.
Yay!
Yay, the books have been out since the 80s. Please read them. Anyway, where were we? Oh, talking about the Chamber of the Deal, because, you know. Alright, for the present, you will... Yeah, you will... For the present, you will live in the Page's Wing. Coram roams with you, but I hope he'll be able to serve the palace guard in his free time. Coram nodded. I like that, Your Grace. Duke Garth smiled thinly. Excellent. We can use a man of your ability. He looked at Alanna once again. Ooh, excuse me. One of the older pages will sponsor you and show you how things are done. You'll be in his charge until you are familiar with the palace and your duties. If you are obedient and work hard, you won't see me often. Misbehave and you'll learn how harsh I can be. When you prove yourself worthy, you'll be granted free time to go into the city. And make no mistake, you'll learn every privilege you get 3 times over. You are here to learn chivalry, not to have a good time. Timian. Alanna realizes the serving lad had... Can I help you? He's trying to, like, get over my shoulder to get my food. I just felt fur, Felix. I just felt fur on my, like, shoulder. And
Tell
like,
him I love him.
Felix, you're loved. No, you can't have my food. Fuck off. Alright. Take them to the room. Make sure the boy is properly clothed. Also, a guardsman uniform for Master Smithyson. The Duke measured Alanna with his eyes. I expect you to begin serving at dinner in 5 days. You'll wait on me. Do you have any questions? It took all her strength to say, no, your lordship. A duke is called Your Grace. The older man smiled. He held his right hand out to her. It's a hard life, but you'll get used to it. Alanna kissed his hand timidly. Yes, Your Grace. She and the 2 men bowed and left the duke's presence. Felix, sir, you cannot have my food. Go away.
Give him a pet.
Give him a kiss for me.
No, he's trying to get my food. He gets nothing.
Give him affection.
He gets nothing.
The same thing if he's trying to get...
Give cat pet.
No.
Cat need pet.
Cat does not need pet.
Cat need pet.
No.
Give.
He's out of my reach now anyway. He walked away and is staring at me from the other side of the room.
I love him.
He's silly.
He's good. He's perfect. Whoa. Yeah, Beth, you are silly.
Oh.
Silly little son.
Oh.
Silly little.
I'm just trying to eat some food right now. Leave me be. I don't need to be harassed.
Silly little guy.
You get to be harassed.
No. I need to put my food up because I'm done eating. And if I leave my bread out, the the caption read bread is brother. I'm sorry, that's so funny. Anyway, the caption put brother instead of bread.
What is the difference?
Exactly. Anyway, I need to put my bread away. I'll be back in like 2 seconds because I literally am just putting it in the closet. Hello, I'm back. Hello?
Very quick.
Yeah, literally just had to get up and put it in the closet, which is like 2 feet away from me. My headphones don't reach that far.
It's very correct.
Alright. Yeah, I have to stash my food in there, because if I don't, the cats will try to eat it. Because they're...
We'll try to steal saltine out of my hand. I'm not even kidding.
Uh-oh, we have a message. Who is messaging me? How dare. Ah.
No, I'm sorry. I'll leave a message with you again.
Okay. Hi, baby. I can pet you now. Now that the food's gone.
Yes. Kiss the boy.
No, I'm not gonna pick him up. He's like in my wires right now.
Oh.
You seem to be on a gentle little kiss.
No, because he's like in a weird place. I cannot reach him with my head, but I can reach him with my hand. He's getting pets and love. He's actually backing away now to go do other things. Okay, bye, Felix. Okay, the page's wing stretched along the west side of the palace, standing near the walls that overlooked the city. Here, Timian showed Alanna and Quorum 2 small rooms, where they would live during Alanna's time as a page. Someone had already placed their bags inside the room. Their next stop was with the palace tailors. Realizing that they would measure her for a page's uniform, Alanna felt sick. Her mind whirled with visions of being forced to strip, being caught and sent home, and disgraced before she'd even had a chance to start. Instead, a scowling old man whipped a knotted cord around her shoulders and hips, calling out numbers of knots it took to circle Alanna to his assistant. Then he laid the cord along the length of her right arm and then her right leg. He sent the anxious-looking apprentice scurrying to the storeroom, while he measured Quorum in the same rapid style. The apprentice returned with an armful of clothing. Huh? The fuck are you doing? No, you can't have that. I have... This fucker. Like, I have this empty bowl that has, like, leftover butter residue from the dip I made. And he's trying to eat the fucking thing. And so now I have to move it. No, get off my bed. No, because you're mean. Get off the bed. Felix. Shit.
I love just hearing you scream at the cats.
Oh my god, he's awful. Anyway, the...
Love him.
What I'm supposed to say was you're awful and I'm sorry.
I forgot where it is. Okay, there he is.
I love reading Discord names. That is all.
What? Lord.
Alright. He sent the anxious-looking apprentice scurrying into the storeroom, while he measured Quorum in the same rapid style. The apprentice returned with an armful of clothing. He was instantly sent after boots and shoes, while the glumpy old tailor shook out a gold tunic and held it up to Alanna. The bright garment could have easily fitted a much larger youngster. Quorum fought to hide a grin. Isn't it a wee bit big? The tailor glared at the servingman. Boys grow, he barked, shoving the whole pile.
So funny. I wish Scottish people were real.
Oh my god, I love that. It's their natures. He turned his scout toward Alanna. You rip 'em, you mend 'em, he said. Don't let me see you here for at least another 3 months. Alanna followed Quorum and Timian out, her knees weak with the relief. Her secret was still safe. Timian took them to the huge kitchens for luncheon, and to spend the afternoon showing them around the palace. Alanna was lost in no time. She didn't believe Timian when he told her that she would soon learn her way around. The royal palace could hold several turbans. The more people lived here than Alanna had ever seen before. Oh, you guys are just adorable. Chance is licking the top of Felix's head, most likely because there's butter on it, but it's still cute.
Correct. Babies.
They're adorable.
I love them.
They're so sweet to each other. Okay, the repair hugger. She learned that many nobles had suites in the palace. There were also quarters for foreign visitors, a servant's wing, the throne and council rooms, ballrooms, kitchens, and libraries, and made her feel extremely small. The sun was setting as they quickly unpacked. Coram changed into clean clothes in his own room while Alanna slowly laid out her uniform. She noticed her hands were shaking. Alan, the serving man called. The door opened. Coram was ready to go. Well, lad? He asked. His dark eyes were kind. Shall we work this? The boys are changing for dinner. She smiled. You go on. And it was hard making her voice sound relaxed. I'll be fine. You're sure? Of course, she replied stoutly. Would I have said so if I wasn't? Yes, was the calm answer. Alanna sighed and rubbed her forehead. She wished he didn't know her so well. Best now as later, Coram. I'll be all right. Really, go on. He hesitated for a moment. Good luck, Alan. Thanks. She watched him leave and felt lost. Locking the door, or it wouldn't be for someone to come in unannounced. She reached for her shirt. You good?
Huh?
You good?
Yeah, he affirmed the gender.
Yes, he did. Look, man.
I enjoy corn.
Corn is a lovely character.
Corn. I'm not calling him anything else.
Corm Smithy son. He's a good dude. He's a good dude.
Corn. His name is Corn.
I'm sorry, I'm reading the fucking captions.
What did the caption say?
Farm smoothie phone. Are you not looking at the stream?
I have to refresh.
Please.
Farm smoothie phone.
I don't even know how it picked that up.
My favorite.
Alright, let's meet some more main characters. When she was fully dressed, Alanna stared at her reflection in the mirror. She had never looked so fine. The full sleeve shirt and hose were bright scarlet against the cloth of gold tunic. Sturdy leather shoes covered her feet. Her dagger and purse hung from a slim leather belt. True, the clothes were a little large, but she was too dazzled by the colors to care.
It's not.
Huh?
It's the ooh shiny instinct of
it really is.
You know what? I don't care that this is too big. Ooh shiny, pretty color.
There was one thing to be said for such bright red and brighter gold. The royal uniform gave her the cold urge to unbolt the door and step into the hall. She couldn't have done it in her battered old clothes. Several boys saw her and hurried to spread the word. There's a new boy in the palace. Suddenly, the page's wing was very quiet. Everyone came to expect the newcomer. Someone behind Alanna grabbed her. She spun. A tall, gangly boy of nearly 14 looked over, a sneer on his thick mouth. He had cold blue eyes and sandy blonde hair that flopped over his forehead. I wonder what this is. His crooked teeth made him spit his S's. Alanna wiped a drop of saliva from her cheek. Probably some back country boy who thinks he's a noble. Leave him alone, Roland. Not Roland. Rowland. Rowland.
I'm sorry. A dude like that really said backcountry boy. Sir, your teeth are fucked up.
Sir,
I don't want to hear
look like you're from Alabama.
Hey, where'd your parents meet? The family reunion?
They are like nobles, which that was a thing with nobles.
So
anyway,
probably. So the answer is probably.
Anyway, leave him alone, Rowland. Someone protested. He didn't say anything to you. He doesn't have to, Rowland snapped. I bet he's some farmer's son trying to pass for one of us. Alanna blushed a dull red. I was told pages were supposed to learn manners, she murmured. Whoever told me that must have been mistaken. The boy grabbed her collar, lifted her off her feet. You'll do what you're told, he hissed, till you can earn the right to call yourself a page. If I say you're the goat herder's son, you say yes, Lord Roland. Alanna gasped in fury. I'd soon as kiss a pig. Is that what you've been doing? Kissing pigs? Or being kissed? Roland threw her against the wall. Hard.
I love Alanna.
Right, she's amazing. First day there and she's already picking fights. She's like, fuck you.
You ever pick a fight your first day?
It's good, this is good. Alanna charged, rammed into his stomach, knocking him on the floor. Roland yelled, Eldon shoved her off him. And what's this? The young male voice was clear and forceful. Roland froze. Alanna slowly got to her feet. I just lost my place because I knocked my water bottle over. Okay, there we go. Alanna got to her feet. The watching boys made way for a dark-haired page and his 4 companions. Roland was forced to speak. Highness, this boy was acting as if he owned the palace. He whined. King of the castle he was, and he insulted me like no gentleman insults another. I don't think I spoke to you, Roland of Malin.
You just told me.
Use the full name.
It's Melvin, but Roland of Malin sounds funnier. And I will continue to mispronounce it because that's how my brain sees it.
Watermelon.
Melon boy.
Melon boy.
Spelled it with an I. The boy called Highness said, his bright eyes fixed on Roland's. The 2 boys were about the same height, but the dark-haired boy seemed about a year younger and was more commanding. Unless I'm mistaken, I told you not to talk to me at all. But Highness, shut up, Roland, instructed one of the boy's friends. He was big, with tightly curled brown hair and coal-black eyes. You've got your orders. Roland stepped out of the way, red with fury. The boy, who seemed to be running things, looked around. Douglas? He nodded to the boy who'd been there all along. What happened? A stocky blonde page stepped forward. His hair was still wet from washing, and he was the one who told Roland to let Alanna alone. It was Roland, John, Douglas said. The new boy was just standing there. Roland started on him, called him a country boy. He said he was a farmer's son. The new boy said he ought to learn some manners. Roland grabbed him and said to the new boy he had to do whatever Roland told him to do and say, yes, Lord Roland. The boy called Highness looked at Roland with disgust. I'm not surprised. He turned his bright eyes back to Alanna. What then? Douglas grinned. The new boy said he'd soon as kiss a pig. The pages started to giggle. Alanna blushed and hung her head. Roland's behavior was bad, but hers wasn't much better. He said it looked as if Roland had been kissing pigs, either that or being kissed himself. Most of the boys listened, laughing outright at this. Alanna could see Roland's fist clench. She made her first enemy. Roland threw the boy against the wall. Douglas continued. The new boy tackled him and knocked him down. That's when you came, John. I'll speak with you later, Roland. The dark-haired boy instructed. In my room before the lights out. Then Roland hesitated. John added in a soft, icy voice. You've been dismissed, Melvin. Roland hurried himself out of the hallway. Melon boy.
You could dismiss the watermelon.
You've been dismissed.
He rolled down the hallway. The boy watched him.
I am now only picturing a watermelon with dirty blonde hair.
Yeah.
That is what he looks like.
That could be an amazing setup later that it would totally spoil something, but I won't do that. Probably because I'll forget. The boys watched him go before returning their attention to Alanna as she was still sitting on the floor. You have good taste in enemies, even if you do make them on your first day here, John said. Let's have a look at you, Firehair. John. You know what? Second prediction. As much as we're gonna like John by the end of this book, you're gonna not like him by the end of the series. Not because he's a bad person, but because he's all around kind of dumb. And not...
Is he big of heart, dumb of ass, or just dumb of ass?
No, he's just kind of a dumbass. He's trying his best and failing. And you're like, John, come on. Come on, man.
So big of heart, dumb of ass.
No. No, no, no. That's Roland. Raoul, not Raoul. Not yes, Raoul. That's Raoul who's dumb of heart and big of ass and all that shit. I don't know what I'm saying.
What's the wrong order?
Whatever. Yeah. No. That's gonna be Raoul. No. John is just an idiot. He's trying his best as a king, but is like, look, literally the opening of Kel's book is him trying to tell Alanna she can't talk to Kel.
Good fucking luck telling Alanna what to do.
Really?
She literally becomes a mysterious benefactor. I think her line at the end in Kel's last book when she's like talking to her, she's like, "These guys forgot I ran circles around them for 8 years."
Really?
Like, of course Alanna was going to like help her. Yeah, no, John's kind of an asshole. It's okay. You're gonna understand by the end of it because he's just kind of stupid. And you're like, John, that's the dumbest thing you could have possibly done in that moment.
We love to see it.
Yeah. Look, man, John is the straight friend of the group. That's just how it is.
The token straight.
Look, man,
No
we already know about Alanna and George. I'm thoroughly convinced Raoul is gay. And is probably dating Francis. Gary is asexual. I'm the only one with sense.
Because you said.
No, I'm sorry. As we get further into these books, it'll make perfect 100% sense that I think this. Because, like, Raoul doesn't get married till he's, like, 40, and that's to Burry, another main character who's not introduced until the later, I think the last book of Alanna's. And she also gives fruity vibes, to be honest. And it's like, then they marry each other so quickly that I'm like, that sounds like an agreement there.
Yeah.
Like he goes to a party because Cal's like, no, go let loose, go have a party, whatever, right? And so Raoul goes. He's like, yeah, I was talking with Burry, someone he's known since he was like in his late 20s. And he's like, yeah, we're together now. I'm like, the thing that happened at that party was like, I'm gay, you're gay, let's just get married.
Yeah, you're gay. What if we?
That's exactly what happened. Like,
Fuck,
we love Burry.
Like, fuckarona find out.
And I don't know.
Yeah. They were like, this marriage, right? We're gonna get together so that we can be gay and nobody can know.
So.
Exactly.
Oh.
And nobody will get to know. Everybody will be like, that's a straight couple. But we'll know.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, as we read more into this, tell me that this is not a group of gays. Like,
Oh, it is.
The whole gaggle of gays.
like you'll get into it later. I think it's so ridiculous.
We love to see it.
We do. All right. Where was I? Okay. Slowly she looked up into his eyes. He was about 3 years older than she was, with coal black hair and sapphire-colored eyes. His nose was straight and slightly hooked. His face was stern, but a smile touched his mouth. A glimmer of fun slipped through from his eyes. Alanna linked her hands behind her back, giving him stare for stare, until the large boy who had silenced Rowland whispered, "This is Prince Jonathan, lad." She bowed slightly, afraid that if she bent over any more she would fall. It wasn't every day you met a person in their... It wasn't every day a person met the heir to the throne. "Your Royal Highness," she said, "I'm sorry about the misunderstanding." You didn't misunderstand," the prince told her. "Rowland is no gentleman. What's your name?" "Alan of Turband, your highness." He frowned. "I don't remember seeing your family at court." "No, your highness." "Why not?" "It's my father. He doesn't like it, your highness." "I see." There's no way to tell what he thought for answer. "Do you like court, Alan of Turband?" "I don't know." "Oh," she replied honestly. "I could let you know in a couple of days." "I look forward to your views." Was he laughing inside? And there we go. "Have you met the others?" With royal permission given, the others all tried to introduce themselves at one. The big friendly boy who had given Jonathan's name was Raoul of Golden Lake. A large man with chestnut hair and eyes was Gareth, Gary of Naxton, the Duke's son.
Just nut.
I'm going to hate.
You leave Gareth of Naxton the Younger alone.
Just nut.
Leave him alone. He's done nothing wrong. He's the only one with the brain out of this friend group, okay? The dark boy besides him was Alexander of Tyrgen. And Raoul's shy blonde shadow was Francis of Nond. There were 10 others, but these 4 and the prince were their leaders. Finally, Jonathan said, now that we've met our newest member, who will sponsor him? 5 of the older boys raised their hand. Jonathan nodded. Your sponsors keep you from getting too lost. He nodded. I think Gary had better take you in hand. The big youth nodded to Alanna, his brown eyes friendly. A pleasure. Alanna bowed politely. A bell rang. We better go, Jonathan announced. Ellen, stay close to Gary and listen to what he tells you. Alanna followed her new sponsor to the great dining hall. Well, this was closed only during the summer when most nobles went to their estates for the rest of the court, and the rest of the court went to the summer palace by the sea. The other 3 seasons of the year, the entire court ate here, served by the pages. Gary stationed Alanna in a niche where she could see everything. As he hurried back and forth on his serving duties, he whispered explanations to her. It was Gary who showed her to the pages' dining hall after the banquet was over. And Gary who woke her up. She fell asleep over dessert and guided her to her room. Welcome to the palace, young Turband, he said cheerfully as he handed her over to Coram. Alanna crawled sleepily into bed thinking, not so bad for the first day. Made an enemy, met the prince, made a friend group. Technically, she made 2 friend groups because Douglas is part of the other group.
Well,
Douglas, Satchel, and Joffrey are going to be the ones in the same year as her, and you'll find her grouped with them quite often. But they're so chill about everything. At one point, because she's friends with the older boys, they're like, yeah, no, it's cool if she goes off and does their thing while we do ours, because she's practically just one of them anyway. Anyway, have fun, Alan!
I love that.
I think later on, Joffrey gets mentioned and does something cool, but I don't remember what it is because it's super brief in, like, Kell's books. But yeah, no. Joffrey, Satchel, and Douglas do not get enough love or even remembrance, and they're amazing. Also, it keeps reading Satchel's name as Sauce.
Wait, you read it as what?
No, the thing just read it as Sauce. I'm sorry, these captions are so bad.
My favorite character. Soft.
We have corn.
Soft.
Corn chocolate.
You're just gonna rename all these characters. Good.
Alan boy.
Pink dumbass.
It's only getting...
Oh my god.
We need one that's named something that's only like it's a different name, but it's the same. It's still like a name. Because right now we have corn, child neglect, melon, soft.
I keep calling Raoul's last name instead of Golden Snake. Or no, instead of Golden Lake, I call it Golden Snake. Because I think that's super cool.
That's his new last name now.
Right?
Canon. I am changing the lore.
Like, there is actual, I think, reason it's called Golden Lake. I believe that is the lake. There's an actual lake on his land that looks golden at a certain time. And, like, it's called the Golden Lake. And that's where his land is, so he's a Golden Lake. But Golden Snake sounds so much cooler.
It does. I want to be named Golden Snake.
Yeah, anyway, Raoul goes on to be the second coolest of this friend group. Because, like, Alanna's always going to be the coolest. That's Alanna. But Raoul goes on to be the leader of the King's Own, which is essentially, like... I mean, it's the group of 9 that particularly protects the king and does, like... the super badassery. They're essentially the secret service of this universe. And he leads that. So anyway, Raoul goes on to be the second coolest character of this friend group. Gary is third, John is fourth. And Alex and Francis unfortunately don't matter.
No. Well, I think they matter.
Alex does not matter. Francis unfortunately passes away in this book. It's super sad.
We're pretending that doesn't happen.
I would love to pretend that didn't happen, but it does. And everyone gets sad.
No, because actually I rewrote the books, remember? And that didn't happen.
Okay.
I'm author. And I wrote it the same way that I changed all the names. So, actually, you're wrong.
Alright. We'll just skip over that whole important plot point.
Yeah.
Alright.
No, the plot makes sense without it happening, I swear.
No. Yeah, no. Alanna doesn't need her friend to die to gain up the strength to save her other friend from death. It's fine. Role reversal.
No,
John dies instead. And then we get Francis to live.
Simply... Yes. Everybody lives. Everybody is happy.
Not Alex. I'm okay with Alex dying.
Well, yeah, that's fine. But everybody else... everybody else is valid.
Alright. Yeah, that's fair. Alright, a bell hung in a high tower over the page's wing. Awakened Alanna at dawn. Moaning, she bathed her face in cold water. She was still exhausted from her 5-day ride. For once, she could have slept late. Gary, a wide-awake, disgustingly cheerful, and large Gary, came for her just as she was finished dressing. When Alanna, who hated breakfast, would have only taken an apple, Gary filled up her plate. Eat, he advised. You'll need your strength. God, Gary's a morning person. Of course he's a morning person.
Of him.
It's probably why he's the only one with the brain cells, because he's a morning person.
Correct.
Look, man, Raoul tries his best and makes pretty okay decisions, but there's no brain cells really there. John routinely makes really dumb decisions. And then Alanna, we already see how she goes about things.
Yeah.
And George made himself king of the thieves, so, like, he could have made better decisions, but given where he's at now, I think he's okay.
Yeah, I think he made good decisions.
He did not. His mother is actually very disappointed in him.
No, shush.
We feel terrible for poor Eleni Cooper. Alright.
I'm proud of him.
The bell gently chimed. The pages hurried to their first hour of lessons, Alanna trotting to keep up with her sponsor. First class is reading and writing, he told her. But I already know how to read and write, Alanna protested. You do? Good. But you'd be surprised how many noble sons can't. Don't worry, young Trebond. A grin lit up his face. I'm sure the masters will find something for you to do. Alanna soon discovered that what most nobles called thinking arts were taught by a Mithrian priest. These orange-robed men were stern taskmasters, always quick to catch a boy letting his attention wander or napping. When the priest who taught reading and writing was satisfied that Alanna could do both, he made her find a page from a book out loud, and then copy it out onto paper. He assigned her a long and very dull poem. Alanna was ready to read it and be ready to report on it the next day. The bell rang. Oh, God. The bell rang the hour when she was only partially done. When do I finish this? She asked Gary, waving the scroll on which a poem was written. He was guiding her to their next set of lessons. In your free time. Here we go. Mathematics. Can you do figures too? Some, she admitted. A regular scholar, said Alex, who had caught up with them, laughing. Alanna shook her head. No, but my father is very strict about learning. He sounds a lot like my father in that respect, Gary said dryly. I need you to know Gary is also going to become a scholar. Like, he's right now like, ew, learning books, whatever. And later on, Cal's like, please don't let me get, like, become squire to Sir Gary, because I really don't want to be lost in books and scrolls. That would be so boring to me. What are you doing? There's nothing over here.
Which one?
Felix, again. He sees the cup still, but I have it in a place he can't get to it.
He is just on a roll today.
He's always a constant troublemaker. I have to watch him. And he's, like, partially banned from the bed because he pees on my stuff sometimes. So, like... You know. Did you just say eat him?
Give the cat affection.
He gets affection. He gets plenty of affection. He's just, you know...
More. Maybe that's what he wants.
What? What? I will simply destroy everything. Attention. No. He doesn't need more attention. Alright, I wouldn't know, Alanna replied, remembering what the Duke said about her father the day beforehand. I don't think they get along. Alanna had to prove her skills this time to a priest who taught mathematics. Once he was satisfied as to the extent of her knowledge, he put her to learning something called algebra. What's this? Alanna wanted to know. The priest frowned at her. It's a building block, he told her sternly. Without it, you cannot hope to construct a safe bridge, a successful war tower or catapult, a windmill or irrigation wheel. Its uses are infinite. You will learn them by studying them, not by staring at me. Alanna was staring at him. The idea that mathematics can make such things as windmill and catapults working was amazing. She was even more amazed when she realized how hard the work was that she was supposed to complete it for the next day. When Gary came over to give her a hand, she demanded, when am I supposed to do this? I have to complete 4 problems for him by tomorrow, and it's almost time for the next class. In your free time, Gary replied, and the time you have now. Look, if you get stuck, offer to help Alex with his extra duty chores. He's a mathematical wizard. The bell rang. Let's go, youngling. The next class was deportment, or manners, as they would be practiced by the nobles. Alanna had learned very early to say please and thank you, but she quickly realized that they were only rudimentaries of deportment. And she did not know how to bow, she did not know how to address a lord as opposed to an earl, did not know which of the 3 spoons to use first at a banquet. She could not dance, she could not play a musical instrument. The master gave her a very large tome of etiquette to read, and ordered her to start lap harp studies instantly in her free time. But I have to read the first chapter of this tonight in my free time, she told Gary and Alex, thumping the book of etiquette. They were sitting on a bench during the morning break, all 10 minutes of it, and 4 problems in mathematics, and the rest of that stupid poem. Alanna's what?
Standard kid who has homework.
Yeah, Alanna's simply learning what it's like to be neurodivergent and having to do homework. Every teacher gives you too much, and you have no free time.
No, you can't have that. Leave her alone.
What? What's happening?
He's sniffing my plushie. I don't want him to touch the plushie.
Which plushie?
My plushie.
You say my plushie.
My new plushie, the one Maddie got me. No, where'd you go? Oh, he's sitting down. Yes. Yeah, she's lovely. Alright. Gary said dreamily, free time. I've heard about that. Don't fool yourself, Firetop. With hours of extra lessons for punishments and the work you get every day, free time is an illusion. It's what you get when you die and the gods reward you for a life spent working from dawn till midnight. We all face up to it sooner or later. The only real free time you have here is what my honored sire chooses to give you when he thinks you've earned it.
Honestly, it's not wrong.
Gary out here just being like, look, man, we don't get free time. I'm sorry.
We don't. Capitalism is hell. Sorry.
Oh, and he doesn't give it to you at night, Alex put it. He gives it to you when you've been here a while. On market days, sometimes a morning or afternoon, all to yourself, but never at night. At night you study. During the day you study. In your sleep. The bell rang. I could learn to hate that bell, Alanna muttered, as she gathered up her things.
We and you both, bestie.
The 2 older boys laughed and hurried along to the next class. To her surprise, this one was different. The boys sat upright in their chairs, looking as if they were interested in what was about to happen. The walls were hung with maps and charts. There's a board with several large blank sheets of paper fixed to it stood before the chairs. There's a box containing sticks of charcoal for drawing on paper sat on the table beside it. The teacher entered to friendly greetings. This man was not a priest. He was short and plump, with long brown hair streaked with gray, and long shaggy beard. His hose bagged at the knees, his tunic was rumpled as if he'd slept in it. He had a tiny, delicate nose and a smiling mouth. Alanna met the man's large green-brown eyes and smiled in spite of herself. He was the oddest mixture of disarray and good nature that she'd ever encountered, but she liked him on sight. His name was Sir Miles of Alau. O-L-A-U.
I cannot physically imagine that man, like, at all.
He's a history teacher.
Probably is.
No, I mean, well, no, Mr. Phillips bold. That's fair.
Hello, he greeted her cheerfully. You must be Alan of Trebond. You're very hardy to have made it this far the first day. Has anyone said what we try to learn here? Alanna said the first thing that came to her lips. The only thing that I know is that I jump when I'm told to and I have no free time. The boys chuckled and Miles grinned. Alanna blushed. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to be pert. It's all right, Miles assured her. Your life here is going to be difficult. Our code of chivalry makes harsh demands. Sir Miles, are you going to start on the code again? Jonathan asked. As you know, we never agreed that it is too much from us. You know, we never agree that it asks too much for us. I don't know what the fuck he's trying to say there. You know, we never agree that it asks too much for us. I think is there supposed to be a comma there? I don't know. It still makes no sense to me. John, fucking speak normally, please. Jonathan, if you're going to say something makes sense, make it worth my while.
He can't speak normally. He's broken.
No, he's like, what, 13, 14? I think he's 13. He's a 13-year-old boy. Of course he can't speak normally. Oh god, that's right. They're like children at this point.
Oh.
I'm like, I think the last book I read of this one was I think I reread Diane's. So, like, he's like an adult with like children in the last book I read.
Oh.
So like my brain's just like, oh yeah,
well,
that's right.
He's a baby.
Yeah. Oh. No, I'm not going to start on the code today, Miles replied. For one thing, you boys won't agree with me until the glamour of being knights and nobles is worn off, and you can see the toll our way of life has taken on you. And for another, Duke Gareth has given me to understand that we are somewhat deficient in our coverage of the Bazir wars, and that he hopes to find us more knowledgeable when he next stops to visit. Sir? Someone asked. Miles looked at Alanna with a twinkle in his eyes. Yes, I often forget not everyone is a scholar like me. I tend to use obscure language. Therefore, to translate, Duke Gareth wants me to go over the Bazir wars because he thinks I spent too much time arguing the code of chivalry and not enough time on the history of Tortal and the history of warfare, which is what I am supposed to teach you. Alanna left the class thinking something she seldom did seriously. Alanna left the class thinking, something she seldom did seriously. I need to actually read when there's a comma there. Me complaining about there not being a comma and then not reading a fucking comma.
Please.
It's okay. Oh, in my defense, I've been reading for a good, 2.5 hours, so.
Oh, wow, has it really been that long?
Yeah, it's already 10:30 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna be up for a while, guys. We're still only in chapter 2.
We also don't have to read it all tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Let's work this.
Yeah, you guys just tell me when to stop.
When should we stop?
I don't know. I can stop after this chapter if you guys want. Because we still have quite a few pages, because we're on page 43 and it goes to page 60, so.
We can finish this chapter.
Yeah, let's finish this chapter. Alright.
Okay, that'll work. Then we're not starting like middle somewhere. No,
Yeah.
we're stopping right now in the middle of a chapter.
Okay, cool. Why the frown? Gary asked, catching up with her. I mean, because we can always do, like, I'm thinking, since I want to read all the books, I think I'll just, like, dedicate... Hello?
Oh, hello.
Anyway, I'll probably just dedicate Saturdays to streaming these.
Hello?
Because that way, like...
Although next Saturday, yeah. Oh yeah, next Saturday we won't.
Okay, you guys can watch the VOD then.
That's true. There will definitely at least be less interruption.
This is true. This is true. I think next time you guys aren't allowed in chat. You'll be, you know, condemned. Anyway.
You good, Anelli?
No, okay. I am by myself in a hotel room while my dad, that woman, and her niece are at a pool, and I did not want to go to the pool. I was like, let me take a shower because of my fucking headache.
Aww.
I feel so fucking better, and I feel so happy for once in my life.
Nice.
Aww. That's
How are you guys?
Good. I'm still reading.
Ooh. Yeah, please read.
And we are live, by the way. Like, yeah. Felix, you cannot do that.
I just randomly cried. Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
Where was I? Oh, why the frown? Gary asked, catching up to her. Don't you like Miles? I do. She started. Oh, no, I like him a lot. He just seems odd, Alex said dryly. He and Gary seem to be close friends. The word you want is odd. Alex and Miles are always arguing about right and wrong, Gary explained. Actually, he seems very wise, Alanna said hesitantly. Not that I know many wise people, but he's also the court drunk, Alex pointed out. Come on, before lunch is over, we haven't even eaten. Why is... Oh, shit's going off. Okay. I'm concerned by Leo, but that's, you know, a constant. The lunch period came after an hour of philosophy. After the lunch period came an hour of philosophy. Alanna almost nodded off to sleep as the teaching priest droned on about duty. At last, Gary took her outside, down the acres of practice courts and exercise yards behind the palace, where there was a center for training for knighthood. Alanna would spend her afternoons and part of her evenings here, going inside only when it actually rained or snowed, and sometimes not even then. And here she must learn jousting, fighting, and eating with weapons such as maces, axes, staffs, archery, while standing, while riding, and trick riding. What? Good night? Okay, night-night. Alright. She must learn to fall, roll, tumble. Oh. She would get dirty, tear muscles, bruise herself, break bones. What the fuck? What is pinging?
I don't know. She just joined again and then left.
Okay. Alright then. Okay, she would get dirty, tear muscles, bruise herself, break bones. If she withstood all of it, if she was stubborn enough, strong enough, she would someday carry a knight's shield with pride. Training was endless. Even once a knight had his shield, or her shield, he still worked out in the yard. Or to keep out of shape was to ask for death at the hands of a stranger on a lonely road. As the daughter of a border lord, Alanna knew exactly how important the fighting arts were. Every year, Turband fought off bandits. Occasionally, Skarna to the north tried to invade through the Grimhold Mountains, and Turband was Tortal's first line of defense. Alanna could already use a bow and a dagger. She was a skilled tracker and decent rider, but she quickly learned that the men who taught the pages and squires considered her to be a raw beginner. She was a raw beginner. Her afternoon began with an hour of push-ups, sit-ups, sitting and twisting exercises. A knight had to be limber to turn and weave quickly. For the first hour, she wore a suit of padded cloth armor as she received her first lesson with the staff. Before she could even learn to use a sword, she had to show some mastery of staff fighting. Without the heavy padding, she would have broken something that first afternoon. As it was, she learned to stop a blow aimed at her side, and she felt as if she'd been kicked by a horse. Next, she learned the basic movement in hand fighting, the fall. She fell, trying to slap the ground as she hit, trying to take her weight on all the right places and creating new bruises whenever she missed or forgot. The next hour saw her placing a shield on the bruised, aching left arm as she paired off with a boy with a stout wooden stick. The purpose of this exercise was to teach her how to use the shield as defense. If she succeeded and stopped the oncoming blow, if she didn't, her opponent landed a smartening rap on the part of her that had been left exposed. After a while, they traded off, and she wielded the stick while her partner headed off her attack. This didn't make her feel any better. Since she was new to the use of a stick, her opponent caught every strike she tried. Feeling cheated, Alanna followed Gary to the next yard. Archery was a little better, but only a little, because she already knew something about archery. She was permitted to actually string the bow and shoot it. When the master discovered she had a good eye and better aim, he made her work on the way she stood and the way she held her bow for an hour. The last hour of the day's studies was spent on horseback. Since Alanna had only chubby to ride, she was assigned one of the many extra horses kept in the royal stables for some of her riding. Her first lesson was sitting properly, trotting the horse in a circle, bringing him to a gallop, galloping without falling off, and halting the horse precisely in front of the master. Because her horse was too large for her, she had a hard mouth, Alanna fell off 3 times. The beast was impossible for her to control, and when she told the riding master as such, she found herself ordered to report on extra study 3 nights a week after the evening meals. Alanna was staggering with weariness when the distant bell called them inside. She hurried by the others to bathe and changed into a clean uniform. By then, she was so exhausted she could barely keep her eyes open, but her day wasn't over. Gary shook her out of his snooze and took her down to the banquet hall. He stationed her beside the kitchen door. From the post, she had handed plates to the kitchen servants. To the pages, and accepted dirty plates to hand back to the kitchen. She dozed off during her meal. Gary steered her to a small library afterwards, reminding her of the study that she had to do the next day. He helped her with the poem, and left her on her own to deal with mathematics. Alanna fought her way through 3 of the problems before going to sleep on the desk. A servant found her and roused her. Just in time for lights out, she fell into bed and was instantly asleep. Waking the next morning, Alanna moaned. Every muscle in her body was stiff and sore. She was speckled with large and small bruises. Stiffly, she got ready for the new day, wondering if she would live through it. It was like the day before, only worse. The mathematics master assigned her additional 4 problems for that day, plus 3 more, punishment for the problems she had left undone during her nap the night before. The reading master informed her that since her oral report on the long poem was inadequate, she could put a longer report in writing for the next day. The master in deportment gave her yet another chapter to read in etiquette, and to make her practice bows the whole period. The afternoon was horrendous. Because she was stiff and aching, Alanna made more mistakes than she had the day before. She found herself getting more extra work. Face it, Gary told her kindly. You'll never catch up. You just do as much as you can and take the punishment without saying anything. Sometimes I wonder if it isn't what we're really trying to teach us. To take plenty and keep our mouths shut. Alanna was in no mood to consider this idea. She returned to her room that night. Hello?
Hello?
She returned to her room that night, and she was tired, nervous, and upset. Pack your things, she ordered. Coram as she marched to the door. We're going home. Coram looked at her. He had been sitting on his bed cleaning his sword. We are. Alanna paced the room. I can't do this, she told the manservant. The pace will kill me. No one can live this way all the time. I won't. I never figured ye for a quitter, Coram interrupted softly. I'm not quitting, Alanna. Stop. I'm protesting. I'm protesting unfair treatment and being worked till I drop. I want to have time to myself. I want to learn to fight with a sword now, not when they decide. I want You want. To something different you're learning here. It's called discipline. The word won't always order itself the way you want. You have to learn discipline. This isn't discipline. It's inhumane. I can't live with it. And I won't, Coram. I gave you an order. Pack your things. Coram carefully scrubbed a tiny bit of dirt off his gleaming sword. At last he put it down carefully on the bed. With a groan, he knelt beside and reached under his bed, dragging his bag. As ye say, he replied, but I thought I'd raised you with something to ye. I didn't think I was bringing up another soft, noble lady. I am not a soft, noble lady, Alanna cried, but I'm not crazy either. I'm going from sunrise to sunset, and after without stop, with no one in sight. My free time is a joke. I'm out of free time before I get to the 3rd class in the morning, and they expect me to keep up. And they'll punish me if I don't. And I have to learn how to fall. I'm learning the stance with the bow all over again when I was the best hunter at Turbon. And if I say anything, I get more work. Coram knelt on the floor looking at her. You knew it would be hard when you decided to come, he reminded her. No one told you I had it easy. I didn't, for certain. I told you it was not but extra hard work for every waking minute, and a lot of extra walking minutes to boot. And now you're running away just after 2 days of it. I need some water. I'm not running away. As you say, mistress. Coram hoisted himself onto the bed with a groan, reaching for his boots. I'll be packed as soon as may be. Alanna slammed into her own room. She yanked one of her bags and stared at it. With a sigh, she sat down, rubbing her head in disgust. At Turbon, she can come and go as she pleased, do as she liked. Life here was completely different. Did that make it bad? She wasn't sure any longer. Coram's words were about quitting and running away, stuck like barbs under her skin. She tried to tell herself that she wasn't running away, but she wasn't having much success. At last, she'd opened the door and looked at Coram. All right, she growled. I'll give it a week. No more, no less. It had better lightened up by then. You're the mistress, or the master, Coram replied. But if you're going to go, I'll make the decision, she told him. Now, good night. It wasn't until she pulled the blankets over her that she realized Coram hadn't even been put his bags back under the bed and removed his boots. The old soldier had not done any packing at all. I wish he hadn't known me so well, she thought grumpily as she dozed off. 1 week became 2, 2 weeks became 3, and Alanna was too exhausted to think of the long ride home. She never caught up with her work, and every day at least one master found something not done and gave her still more to do. She learned to take Gary's advice, doing as much as she could each day and taking her punishments without complaint. Her first night of table service came and went. She was too tired to be afraid during the first test. She waited on Duke Gareth, listened to him lecture on table manners, and continued to serve at the banquets. At last, she was assigned to permanently wait on Sir Miles, much to her delight. Yet the knight always had something kind to say, even if as Alex had said, he did drink too much. Sometimes she even helped him back to his rooms if he had drunk too well. Often he would give her a silver penny or a sweet, and his classes were the bright point of the morning. Miles had a knack for making history seem real. She and Gary
point in the morning.
Yeah, we love him.
Yes. She and Gary quickly became friends. Gary always had something funny to say about the master department, and he was never too busy to give her a hand. If she could bring herself to ask for help, she also discovered that he could make her large friend laugh simply by saying whatever came to her mind. She liked making someone as intelligent as Gary laugh. Between Gary, Miles, and the other people in the palace, life got better. Alanna came to forget that she had once ordered Coram to pack and take her home. 3 months, and her 11th birthday passed before Alanna realized it. The first break in her new routine came one night when Timian came hunting for him. He wants to see you. Timian had never said who he was. You're to go to his study. Alanna straightened her tunic and tried to smooth her hair before rapping on Duke Gareth's door. Why would he want to see her? What had she done wrong? He called for her to come in, looking up from his papers. He closed the door behind her. Ellen, come in. I'm waiting I'm writing to your father reporting on your friend. Do you have any message? I'm writing to your father reporting on your progress. Do you have any messages for me to send to him? She wasn't in trouble. Alanna smothered a sigh of relief. She thought of something worse. What if her father came out of his studious fog and actually read Newgarth's letter? I think that'll I'll think of that when it happens, she told herself. Who would things ever get easy? Jesus fucking Christ, I can read, man.
Simply on the letter, she should have him write, LMAO, get fucked.
Please say that I send my regards, sir, she told the Duke. The man put his quill down. My report is satisfactory. You learn well and quickly. We're glad to have you among us. Alanna turned pink with delight. She had never received such a high compliment. Thank you, Your Grace. You may go to the city tomorrow morning as a reward. In the future, you may also go there with other pages on market day. Since you're new to chorus, you may have one of the older boys accompany you. Not Alex. He has to take an extra hour of ethics tomorrow. Yes, Alex does need to learn ethics. This is true. I don't think he ever does learn them, but you know.
It's fine.
That is, I think, unintentional foreshadowing.
I love that.
Alanna beamed. You're very kind, she said. Could Gary Garris come tomorrow? He did say you are good company. It can be arranged. Be certain to return in time for afternoon lessons. Yes, sir, she bowed deeply, and thank you again. Gary had to laugh at Alana's wide eyes as they walked through the city marketplace. Close your mouth, country boy, he teased. Most of this is overpriced. But there's so much of everything, she explained. Not here. One of these days, we'll take a ride to Port Canyon, or Port Can, Caynn. How am I supposed to pronounce that? I always read this Cannon or Canyon.
Canyon.
It's like K-N, I think. But
Gay.
yes.
No.
And you'll see
That
real
is the
wonders
kind of
there. He stopped to look at a pair of riding gloves. Alanna wistfully eyed the longsword that hung beside them. She would need a sword someday. How would she ever get a good one? A large hand tapped her shoulder. Startled, she looked up into hazel eyes and the man that Coram had called a thief just 3 months before. So, it's the young sprout with purple eyes, the man said pleasantly. I was wondering if you'd fallen into a well. His voice was rough and uneducated, but he spoke carefully. To Alanna, it seemed as if though if he thought about every word before saying it. She grinned at him. Somehow, this meeting didn't surprise her. I've been at the palace. Who's your friend? Gary asked, looking at Alanna's acquaintance suspiciously. Allow me to introduce myself, young masters, the man bowed. I'm George Cooper, of the lower city. Will you take a cool drink with me as my guest, of course? Sounds what?
Sounds punchable.
Yeah, just a little bit, but in like the nicest way possible.
Yes, but I love him very much.
Oh yeah. George is lovely.
He's good.
Thank you, Alanna said quickly.
Good.
We accept. George took them to a little inn called the Dancing Dove. The old man who ran it greeted him like a good friend, hurrying to bring ale for George and lemonade for the pages. George, you are not old enough to drink. Please stop. Look, man.
No, George, let me drink.
Look, man.
The babies drink. Healthy.
They've earned it as a
They'll
treat.
grow up big and strong.
Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure he's younger than he says his, actually the line where he says his age down here. But like it says, hold on, we'll get to it in a moment, but when drinks came, Alanna examined George as she gulped her lemonade. George said he was 17, although he seemed older. I have very strong doubts that he's even that old. He's probably like 15, 16.
Tells me. Yeah, something tells me he is younger.
Yeah. He just holds himself like he's older and lies about his age. His nose was too big for good looks. When he smiled, But when he smiled, he appeared handsome. He wore his brown hair cut short, or like other commoners. But Alanna is just straight up, man, his nose is too big. Oh well. At least he's paying for the drinks.
But like, he has a nice smile.
This is her future husband, and and one of her best friends,
yeah.
like.
Ugly as hell. I like it.
He wore his brown hair cut short. Like Alanna felt something powerful about him, something almost royal. She also felt a strong liking for him. You shouldn't be surprised that I'm looking you up. He told Alanna. Truth be told, I like your looks. We don't see many with eyes like yours. You're being from the country. You don't look like it now, but you did then. And I thought you'd like to be knowing someone in the city. Do you always make friends on such short notice? Gary asked sharply. George looked at him in a moment. Trust my instincts, young master. In my line of work, you learn quick to trust your instincts. What is it you do, George? Alanna wanted to know. George winked at her. I buy and I sell. You're a thief, Gary said fatly. Thief's such a harsh word, Master Gareth. He looked at the big youth. Why would you be thinking that I am? You still got your purse and what's in it, or you better had or you had better. Gary checked and admitted, I still have my purse. But why do you want to make friends with us? If you think we'll help you in the palace, you're wrong. Don't you even know who I am? George met Gary's eyes, and in them saw clearly a great intelligence. He could sense that the boy had made enemies with a sharp mind and sharper tongue. George read some of this and then relaxed. I know well that you're Gareth of Naxton, the Duke's son, and I didn't look you up for professional reasons. Truth to tell, were you not with Alan, I wouldn't have put myself in your way. Hey, we're not fond of nobles here. His smile twisted. But I have the gift, and it helps me see more clearly than most. I must meet Master Alan. In fact, I've kept a close eye on him these 3 months. I don't ignore my gift when it calls me. Gary shrugged. I don't know much about magic, but that makes sense. Still, what can Alan do for you? He's just a little guy. Gary over here looks at Alan. He's just a little guy.
He's just a little boy. He's just a little guy, little baby boy.
Absolutely. Until Alanna, I think, beats the shit out of someone. They're all just like, he's just a little guy. And then they're like, oh, he's a little guy with a big temper.
A little guy with a big knife.
Really.
He's a little guy. Oh, he's a fucked up, actually.
Alanna is like a hissing cat, and all his friends are just making the pss, pss, pss noises at him.
Alanna's just a street cat.
Right. That's really what it is. Oh.
I love to see it. Yeah. This just all loops back around to cats.
It always does.
It always does. And Garfield.
Garfield is a cat.
and
and was a president of the United States, depending on which Garfield we're talking of. Anyway, Gary grinned an apology to Alanna, who shrugged. She was getting used to such remarks.
History, but it's Garfield was friends
Oh my god.
Garfield is U.S. president. Shut up.
And unless I miss my... I guess you're the man on the Lord Province most would love and unless I miss my guess, you're the man on the Lord Province. The Lord Province Provost, I don't know, head guard dude, lord thing, would love most to get his hands on. George nodded respectfully. You're quick, Master Gary. All right, then. I'm what they call the King of Thieves, Master of the Court of Rogue. The Court of the Rogue, he explained to Alanna, is all of us who make our living by our wits. It's ruled by a king, me, right now. Sometimes he's just called the Rogue. But mastery doesn't last very long here. Who knows when some young buck will do for me what I did for the king before me just 6 months back. I'll need friends when that comes. He shrugs. Still, it won't happen soon. Till then. And why look a gift thief in the mouth? I hate this dude. I did not remember that line. George, no. I can be a good friend to those who keep facing
I
me.
love him.
I want to punch him. I want to punch him purely for that pun.
I too want to punch him. But like, out of love.
Gary wants to punch him right now. Gary looked him over, then nodded. I like you, for all that you're a thief. George laughed. And I like you, Gary, for all that you're a noble. Friends, then? Friends, Gary said firmly. They shook hands across the table. And you, Alan? George asked. Alan had been watching and thinking, none of her thoughts clear on her small face. With his magic, would George know her secret? When she remembered what Maud had taught her. Having the gift instantly shields you from the magic vision of someone else with the gift. For the moment, George wouldn't be able to guess her secret. Even if he did, Alanna suspected the thief wouldn't tell his own mother the time of day unless he had a good reason. That's not true. George loves his mother. Alanna Cooper deserved better than the son that she got, okay?
Look, man, George is still lovely.
Oh, Alanna's story is so sad. I forget which book exactly says the whole story. But Alanna, it's Becca's books that explains it. But Alanna got pregnant by a man who left her when she was technically working as a priestess and had like a whirlwind romance, and then the father left her, and then her family abandoned her, and so she moved to the city with George, and then George starts stealing at like 6, and she's like, don't do that, and he does it anyway. Look, man, Alanna deserved better.
She raised a criminal.
She did not mean to.
No, she didn't, but George is still the best character, so it's okay.
Yeah, this is fair. I think Alanna ends up marrying Miles. I think. I don't remember that correctly. No, that is correct. That is correct. That does happen.
Oh, lovely.
Yes. I'd like some more lemonade, she said, pouring her tankard full. The gift must be pretty useful to you. It's gotten me out of more than one tight place, George admitted. It helps me keep tabs on my rogues, so maybe I'll last longer than the king before me. He drained his own tankard and set it down. And you need never worry about your pockets, or those of your friends you bring here. But be careful who you bring. One lord from any of them to my lord province, he gets my head for certain. We'll be careful, Gary promised. Don't worry about Alan. He keeps his mouth shut. In the sense that Alan doesn't speak secrets. He does not keep his mouth shut, though. He very much has a lot to say about things.
Not even a little bit.
George grinned. As I can see, few sprouts, even one sealed to the road, could listen to all this and say nothing. You'll learn this is wrong soon, George. Anyway, well, you best be getting back. If you need anything, I'll send word through Stefan. He works in the palace stables. You'll find me here most of the time. And if not, ask old Solomon. He jerked his thumb at the innkeeper. He'll fetch me quick enough. Alanna rose. She and Gary shook hands with their new friend. You'll be seeing us then, she promised. Good day to you. The two pages strolled out into the street. The king of Thebes watched them go, smiling. Several weeks later, Duke Gareth called Alanna out of her mathematics class. Confused, she went to meet him. He handed her a letter. Can you explain this? Alanna scanned the much blotted parchment. It was from her father. The letter was short, saying only that he trusted Tom to continue doing well. Luckily, she had a story planned. Looking up, she shrugged her face a little sad. He forgets, you see. I don't think he's ever been able to tell my brother and I. My brother and me, the Duke corrected sternly. My brother and me, she repeated obediently, apart. She crossed her fingers behind her back and tried to guess. I don't think he even let his majesty know when we were born. The Duke thought over a moment. You're right. He didn't. He hasn't changed. The man sighed. I hope your brother does as well as you. If your father cannot tell you apart, at least he can be proud of both of his sons. Alanna hung her head, hating herself for having to lie to someone like Duke Gareth. Thank you, your grace, she whispered. You may go. Don't forget to write your father yourself. Alanna bowed. Of course, sir. She let herself out and closed the door. In the corridor, she sagged against the wall. With luck, now Duke Gareth would believe All such letters were due to Lord Allen's bad memory. She returned to her class, still feeling wobbly. There were real advantages to having a father who didn't care what she did. But the advantages were so wonderful, why did she feel like crying? And that is the end of chapter 2. So how's it all going? Hello? Oh, okay. I didn't even know they left chat. Cool. Imagine sleeping. Hello.
Someone walked in, so.
Yeah, chapter 2's finished. Yay!
Oh.
We've been streaming
Oh,
for like
okay.
3 hours.
Oh.
Thank you for joining me.
Nice.
Yes. I will read another couple of chapters next week with whoever shows up. So,
Probably me.
huh?
Most of next week's problem. Never mind. I'm gonna be like probably me, but no problem.
I might read it earlier next Saturday. I don't really like doing it so late at night. So yeah. Well, thank you for joining me. We'll do more of this some other time. Yes, thank you to the 3 viewers in Twitch chat. We love you. You are lovely.
Maddie. Wait.
It's Maddie and Bread and someone else. It doesn't let me see who right now. Yay! Yeah, I'll send a thing next time too in chat and be like, yo, I'm live here. But yay! Thank you all for joining me. We are going to end the stream now. Woo!